Live from the Columbus Civic Center in Columbus, Georgia. It is time for a Friday night edition of Columbus River Dragons hockey. Hello, everybody. My name is Liam. Go time, Gotimer here with you. Alongside me, as always, is Mike V.
Good almost being here, Liam. Missed you a little bit on the road there, but well, I'm sure we'll have some stories about up that way.
I missed you too, Mike, but it's great to be back here with you inside of the booth as your Columbus River Dragons play the Pee Dee IceCats. With that said, let's waste no time and send it down to ice level first for your fire starter of the night. The fire starter of the night is none other than that man, number 74, Nathaniel Mott. Mike, we've talked about the first-year players of the River Dragons really making a difference since joining the group. Brad Fortin, lights out offensively. On the back end, Nathaniel Mott has been stable, effective. He's earned the confidence of the coach, and he scored his first pro goal on Saturday in Louisiana.
Well, and he's a big defenseman. He's a guy that you need on the blue line. He's physical, not afraid to mix it up. Handles the puck very well, and very familiar with these new guys that are coming in, adding a new dimension or at least a new kind of angle for the River Dragons to be able to attack from.
One more note on Nathaniel Mott. He is paired up with Brody Thornton, number 65. They won a national championship together at Adrian College. You cannot teach chemistry.
No, I mean, that's something that, it's great to, you're right. There's no way to teach it. If you kind of go through a system with somebody, they pretty much know how you are. They're both blue liners. They both play well on the line. They both handle the puck well. And, of course, him being a little bit bigger of a defensive guy can take some guys out and let Brody be able to come around and maybe pick up that loose puck.
I love how you mentioned the physicality. Nathaniel Mott was mentioned during Hits of the Week, which can be found on our YouTube channel. Nathaniel Mott, number 74, is tonight's fire starter of the night. From one side of the ice to the other, here is the Pest of the game, brought to you by our friends over at Cook's Pest Control. It's Nick Gullo, number 19, once a River Dragon on paper this past offseason. 7 goals, 17 assists for 24 points. Stands at just 5'6", weighs 160 pounds. But this is a player that does not let his size or lack thereof hold him back.
No, what you got to love is you got to love the fact that you've got a guy that comes in there that's 5'6", all right? For those people that are 5'7", 5'6", 5'5" all their lives, it's nice to see short guys do a great job. Now, he's a guy that does things. He's able to handle the puck. Sometimes little guys can squeeze through, can get through areas, can almost become invisible, especially a good skater like him. Obviously going to be the Pest of the night, someone to look forward or look at for the River Dragons.
Absolutely. Nick Gullo, who wears number 19, is tonight's Pest of the game. Thank you, as always, to Cook's Pest Control. If you missed it, the fire starter of the night is Nathaniel Mott, the rookie blue liner. Let's send it to our very first commercial timeout of the night. Then, when we come back, I will take you all back to Saturday night in Monroe. The club lost 6-2, but there were some bright spots.
Didn't think termites were up this early.
They really don't go to sleep. But now that it's warming up, termites really start moving.
But I'm good, right?
Oh yeah, you're good. Don't worry about pests this spring. Call Cooks, and you'll already be a step ahead of them.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cooks Pest Control.
Columbus, it's time to show your pride with official River Dragons merchandise. Every piece lets you take Columbus hockey with you wherever you go. Stand with your team, show your colors, and bring the energy of the ice to your everyday. Get your River Dragons gear today and wear your loyalty to your club loud and proud. Let's go Dragons! The puck has been dropped. We're officially underway. This is Liam Gotimer saying, it's go time on this evening's contest. The fast Fornaris will get to the far side corner, and Patakin shoves his man into the flank. That was Pick. He'll slide smooth through center, and he got rocked by Nathaniel Mott. And now Gerstein will come in on the attack. Gerstein shoved right off by Mike Wynn. A drive from the left, that hit a body before getting to Roy. They score, it's Gerstein. A broken play winds up into the back of the net for Monroe. Kyle Moore, Kirk Underwood, and Ben Stefanini on the ice for Columbus. Mike Wynn up the near wing. Stefanini, that's a nifty feed. Moore for a driving Underwood, scores! Kirk Underwood with a backhand beauty upstairs on Masternak. We're square. 4:15 into the game. The big-bodied Gerstein, he'll go rink wide for Balsamo, and well, his wrister went in and out of the glove of Tyler Roy. This might be another breakaway for Kirk Underwood. It is! Underwood! Save made by Masternak. He got a piece with his pad. Moore joins him. He'll spin and send a pass for Stefanini. Left point, the activating Mike Wynn to the net. They don't score! Oh my goodness, it went over the helmet of Masternak. The Dragons were crashing the cage, and number 35 somehow, some way, plucked it near the goal line with 12 minutes and 36 seconds left to go here in the first. Hunter from the circle, he's got Jemayev with him. Hunter a backhander, that was sweet. Masternak fought it off. Offside. And now here we go. Skate Scaldi is going to fight Colton Gherkin here. It's go time! Let's rock! Scaldi ducks one punch to start us off. Loses his balance, then gets right back up. And the tilt comes to a close. They're sending Skate Scaldi and Colton Gherkin off to the room with 4:27 left and a 5-minute fighting major on the board for both of them. And Scaldi daps up a River Dragon fan. Not one, not two, but three as he heads off. Can I make it 4? Too bad I'm up here. Austin Pick will shoot, and Tyler Roy will squeeze his pads together. The 9th save of the game for number 35. Pick, right circle, hits the crossbar. Franco, a one-handed centering pass while on his belly. And they score from the line. As here's a break for Gerstein, he scores through the 5-hole of Roy. Christie across, Gerstein scores. Scaldi. He'll wiggle away from Gherkin. Patakin shoots and hits the glass as now we're gonna have a fight. Asp and Joel Texmo. Joel Texmo, number 95, and Rasmus Asp, number 77, below the goal line. The tussle is on. Couple of uppercuts from Asp. Joel Texmo with an overhand of his own. They're still locked up. They drift over to the left side. And a headlock from Joel Texmo ends this one. And Asp falls down. One last entry for the Dragons on the power play. Ryan Hunter, the league leader in power play goals, onto the tape of Moore. He'll go across. Nathaniel Mott has his first first pro goal. That's a moment number 74 will never forget. Congratulations, Nathaniel Mott. It's 4-2. Schumacher scores, deflected in. 5:25 left, folks. No icing here. So Roy vacates the net. He'll pass it on along up the near side. Christie, great A look through the legs of Roy.
Hey, playing for an ultra?
We playing for ultras? Brace you for an ultra?
Put an ultra on it. Don't forget, there's ultras on the line. I didn't.
Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
We've got a dragon down on the ice.
The difference with Beam isn't just speed, it's service that you can count on. And when you call, you'll reach real people who live right here. And when you connect, you'll feel the reliability that makes Beam stand out. Now whether it's working from home, streaming your favorites, or keeping up with everyday life, Beam keeps it all running smoothly. And right now, get our 1 gig plan for just $60 a month for your first 3 months. Fast, dependable, and local. Beam Broadband, connection you can count on.
Let Shredaway, a division of the Overby Company, take care of all your document shredding needs. We can design a custom shredding program for your business today. No need to purchase equipment, no maintenance expenses, no need to prepare records for destruction, increase employee productivity, increase security, no worry. Was it really destroyed? Right now, all new customers can receive 10% off. Shredaway, a division of the Overby Company, locally owned and operated in downtown Columbus. That's Shredaway, 706-577-9668.
Hey, it's Bill, your foodie guy, and you know I love food, right? So we've teamed up with Mike and Ed's Barbecue in Columbus on Schaumburg Road and our friends at Pepsi Buffalo Rock to create $1 Wing Wednesday. Look what I've got here. I've got a pile of wings, I've got my celery, and I've got my free Pepsi. I'll see you at Mike and Ed's on Schaumburg Road in Columbus. $1 Wing Wednesday. See you there.
Coach, club loses by a final score of 6-2 in the second half of a back-to-back in Monroe, Louisiana. I'm curious, what did you see out of your team? Played really well at the beginning, and then...
Yeah, you know what? Again, it's that consistency. You know, we have time to do something positive with the puck, and we end up just kind of throwing it in an area, and we don't complete a pass type thing. So, it is what it is. We, you know, sat a couple guys, which I think mentally kind of gives everyone else an attitude of it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, take it with a grain of salt.
What specifically in that game do you think allowed it to get away? Because it was a 1-1 game, you know, 5 minutes into the second period. It was really tight and was an example of what we might be able to see in a playoff series.
Yeah, I mean, Friday night was the refs. Saturday they were better, but still a little bit kind of the refs type thing. And then you know at the end of the day we just got to complete kind of complete plays, and you know instead of chasing pucks and doing things that are a little. When I say broken plays, you know, you make a bad pass here and then all of a sudden the next play is a broken play and nobody's where you're supposed to be. When it comes down to it, I think we weren't connected as we needed to be is the word probably. You know, having puck support in the right areas and all that stuff. So.
2 goals in the last 3 games for Kirk Underwood, one of those 2 games being up front at forward. I'm curious, what did you see from his game playing up front, and is that something that you might consider continuing moving forward?
Yeah, no, Undy, Undy's not a pure goal scorer per se, but when he skates so well and he's got good hands, and if you play a certain way, things tend to go well for you. And with him being up front, obviously that gives him a little bit more opportunity to use his speed and be able to finish plays type thing. So and then again, really it all comes down to being connected is the word I'm going to stick with type thing. Being connected and having guys where they're supposed to be to execute plays. And the goals that we did score, we were connected, and we had players where they were supposed to be, and using the boards and playing smart and all that stuff.
Kirk opened the scoring on Saturday night for your team. Nathaniel Mott scored the second and final goal. Nathaniel getting paid off for his terrific work.
Yeah, no, you know what, Motter's come in, and he's a big dude. He skates well. I think college numbers, I don't think he was used on power play, and his goal, it was
backdoor.
It was on the power play, but I think the power play just ended type thing, so it didn't count. But is he a power play guy? I don't know, but we'll see when it's all said and done. And then really, if you look back at on Saturday, with Barrow and Storjan out, different people got the opportunities, and that allowed Motter to be out there. And we were probably disconnected as far as that goes, as far as our power play goes.
Coach, a unique situation heading into this weekend set of games, not just for yourself, but for your opponent, the Pee Dee IceCats. You both don't know who you're facing in the first rounds of the playoffs. What's your mindset entering the last set of regular season games?
Yeah, you know what I mean. I think the biggest thing is playing well. I mean, it doesn't really matter what the outcome is as far as wins and losses. We're locked in third place, and it depends on what happens down in Monroe. So, kind of consistency, just kind of fine tune our game, making sure that we go into the playoffs playing well, playing the smart, playing a little playoff hockey without being. We want intense, but as far as the playoff goes, it really ramps up, and you can really feel the difference type thing. So making sure that everyone's safe, make sure nobody gets hurt, and just play simple and play the right way.
Are you going to use these last 2 games as an opportunity to try some new things, or are you going to try and really get set with the group that you want to go into game 1 with?
Yeah, well, I think there's a couple guys that are still a little banged up or whatever type thing. So try to make sure that those guys are healthy for next week. And then, fine tune. I know our lines last weekend are going to be Barrow, Storjan, probably more. The second and third line may switch a little bit. Kirk was playing with Stefanini and Doherty with Gallia there. I might flip-flop that a little around. I might put Undy with Hunter and Fortin and drop Jammer down with those guys. Or I don't know. We'll see how it pans out this weekend. But try to get some type of continuity so we know what we're doing coming in through the playoffs.
Going back to the potential first-round playoff matchup against either Athens or Monroe, I'm curious, do you have a preference on who you'd rather face?
You know what? Don't really have a preference. I mean, I know with Athens, with their little debacle over last weekend, they got some suspensions. Neely went to Atlanta, which is kind of a little bit of surprise, which might indicate there might be some fractures in the locker room there type thing. So I don't know if he's done for the year or if it just taking a break and change of scenery type thing, or and then Monroe, we played them the last 2 weekends in a row, and we really haven't played well against them consistently all year. But they're similar to Athens. They're a little heavier than Athens, but they're susceptible to the same plays, same mistakes, and if we can capitalize off of their mistakes and put the puck on net on turnovers and all that stuff, we should be fine.
You know, the first round of the playoffs, you're going to have to win at least one game on the road in order to take this series. I'm curious, you haven't won a game against the Moccasins on their ice. Does that creep into the back of your head at all, or is it?
Perfect.
You love it?
Yeah, love it. That means we're due. That means we're due, and give them a false sense of security, whatever you want to say. But no, we're fine either way. I don't know what our record is at home and on the road. I think we've, if we're 500 on the road and 600 at home, whatever it is, we're gonna have to do that no matter what.
The goaltender this upcoming weekend, do you foresee Trevor Babin getting a start, or are you going to stick?
Yeah, Babs will probably go tonight, and we'll see on Saturday whether we rest Babs and put Royce in, or see how it goes.
Coach, it's time for your fun question of the interview. Not tonight, but tomorrow is Fan Appreciation Night. Do you have one specific memory that sticks in the back of your mind, either as a player or as a coach, interacting with a fan?
Well, I used to have fun when I played, no matter what, whether it was throwing pucks over to the glass with kids or even on the road. Just that nasty guy that is yelling at me on the other side of the glass. And nothing's better than a kiss and a wink to that guy. And as far as playing at home, I'd have a handful of people that I'd make sure that I would acknowledge during warm-up, as far as season ticket holders and all that stuff. So, no, I mean, that's what kind of makes it special to play in Columbus. You get to know people on a fan base, but then also a little bit on a personal level as well, type thing. So it makes it nice.
I'm going to ask you a follow-up, and this is a loaded one. But what does this city and these fans mean to Jerome Bouchard?
Well, it's kind of funny. We were just talking about that out in the office. In Regina, Saskatchewan, where I'm from, I'm a farmer.
Okay.
In Columbus, Georgia, I'm Boom Boom, and it's a little different. And I really think that I can have an impact on other people's lives in Columbus. And obviously the people in Columbus have had a huge impact on my life and my family. So that's why I still do it, because Columbus is home, and it's family to me. So love Columbus.
Coach, thank you for your time, and good luck tonight.
You bet.
Sorry we're late. Runs in the family, right?
Who are you?
Simple. We get inside, find the cooler, fill it with Pepsi.
Isn't that breaking and entering?
No, it's just entering.
I'm not seeing a cooler.
No problem.
Who's for us? There's no lifeguard.
This is Aunt Joni. She's married to Uncle Phil. He's from Boca.
Aunt Joni, how is your husband, Phil?
Dead, but I'm very much alive.
I don't quite know.
Can I help you with that?
Oh my gosh, thank you.
To Will and Diane, you go together like Pepsi and hot dogs.
Oh, that's so us, babe.
Pepsi, I'm not needed here.
Have a great party, guys.
It really is a perfect combo. Are your friends in the blue Pepsi truck coming over too?
Abort! I'm not sorry for bringing flavor!
Welcome back to Columbus, Georgia. My name is Liam Gotimer. Alongside me is Mike V, as we continue to get you set for the Columbus River Dragons and the Pee Dee IceCats. Before we get you to the River Dragons getting introduced to their fans, I'd love to show you all the lines for your Dragons this evening. Tyler Barrow and Alex Dorjahan, Mike, two players who did not play in Saturday night's game against Monroe. They're back, and they're on the first line alongside Kyle Moore.
A little rest is, at that time of year, you're locked in. You know where you're being. You know what spot you're going to be in. So resting guys, it's all part of the game, and good to see them both back in here against Pee Dee, trying to get the guys back on a winning track to walking forward to the playoffs as opposed to backing in.
Without a doubt. Kyle Moore, as I mentioned before, will play alongside Barrow and Storjahan, with Cody Wickline still on injured reserve. The second trio of players, Ryan Hunter, Alexander Jemayev, and Brad Fortin, number 61. That is a unit that has not been separated since they were put together by head coach Bichard, and why would you?
Lightning strikes. It happens once in a while, and that when Fortin came in, and it provided a whole nother dynamic. And of course, we've seen what Fortin can do with his skating ability and his offensive problems. Great addition, and of course, with Hunter, teamed along with him, they know each other very well for all they played together.
Ben Stefanini will play alongside the captain, Kirk Underwood, and Scott Doherty on the third line. There's one extra forward this evening. That's Ryan Calvin, the forward out of Atlanta, Georgia. On defense, Mike Wynn will play with Josh Colton as always. Nathan Balk will with his brand new defensive partner in Lair Patakin. And the final duo of defensemen, it's Brody Thornton and the fire starter of the night, Nathaniel Mott. As I touched on in the open, those two won an ACHA national championship together at Adrian College. In between the pipes for your Dragons, it's none other than number 72, the Dark Knight, Trevor Babin, backed up by the man who started both games in Monroe this past weekend. That is Tyler Roy. He wears number 35. With that said, we will officially leave it to ice level. The Dragons to get introduced to their fans in just moments. This is Columbus River Dragons hockey. 20 minutes on the clock. Both teams on the sheet. The Columbus River Dragons and the Pee Dee IceCats for game number 55 out of 56 this season. In this first period, which is proudly presented by our friends over at Chick-fil-A in Midland, Columbus will skate from left to right, wearing their red jerseys. Tonight, a Friday, where we remember everyone deployed. Attacking from right to left will be the Pee Dee IceCats. They wear their white uniforms with the navy blue letters and numbers along the back and on the sides. At center ice, it's Nick Gullo and Alexander Jemayev. The puck has been dropped. We are officially underway. The IceCats take possession. This is Liam Gotimer saying, it's go time on tonight's game. The River Dragons open up tonight's contest with Alexander Jemayev. He took the opening faceoff. Brad Fortin, number 61, on one of his wings. Ryan Hunter on the other. On defense, Josh Colton and Mike Wynn in goal. Number 72, Trevor Babin. That unit of 5 players will get the puck into the offensive zone. The puck now behind the goaltender for Pee Dee. That is Parker Rutherford. He wears number 30. The puck will bleed all the way back into the Dragon end, where Mike Wynn will scoop it up and play it for his defensive partner in Josh Colton. To the wing, the puck goes. Ryan Hunter through the middle, intercepted by one of the 2 Russian forwards who love to produce. That man with the puck was Alexander Leitkov. He goes on the prowl after it. Fortin still on the ice 60 seconds into the game. He attempts to defend that slapper from Timur Razulov. Couldn't get his body in the way. But now Alexander Jemayev will go down to his knees and maneuver the biscuit out to the neutral zone. Quickly though, Pee Dee with a step. It's Patrick Smarson-Kevics. It got through Babin, but it hit the far post and ricocheted to the blue paint.
That was by a whisker.
That's Patrick Smarson-Kevics for you. His brother, Dominic's, his twin brother, departed the team. Now in the SPHL with the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs. But even though he's without his twin, that does not mean he is any less effective. As Leitkov behind the net. Have to watch out for him, but trouble with the puck. That's Nolan Sargent. This might be a break for Kyle Moore. Moore scores!
Well, taking advantage of a turnover in the neutral zone and able to get a quick break in. He got in tight. I didn't think he could make that move, but he ended up making the move and getting it by Rutherford, and there you go, 1-0.
Number 3 for the IceCats, who fumbled the puck at the blue line. That's Nolan Sargent, playing in his very first game with Pee Dee, and in his first shift. A little bit of an oopsie that leads to a River Dragon goal.
I was going to say, things could work out for somebody a little better than your first shift, and you gave up the puck like that, and it results in a goal. But it's hockey. It's all part of the game. I'm sure he'll do a lot better in his career.
And you got to love that from Kyle Moore, right? He recognized that he had a step on the defense. He could have let that shot rip from the far circle. Instead, he continued his drive to the net, and it paid off.
Walked it in.
For Kyle Moore, that's his 18th goal of the season, his 58th point. Kyle Moore led the club with 37 assists last season. He's already eclipsed that mark with 40. That his 18th goal once again. So Sturgeon at the center ice logo. Far wing, Kyle Moore. He's got a hot stick. He'll lay it to the line, but that's taken by the IceCats, and up the right wing they'll skate. Elijah Wilson to the bottom of the far side circle. It's number 24, Jake Cox out of Columbus, Georgia. Welsh, right circle, pad save made by Babin. And Scott Doherty, number 13, will get it out to center by pushing the puck off of the boards adjacent to the Dragon bench. Columbus comes into this game with a record of 26-18, 5-4-1. They have 93 points. They are cemented into 3rd place in the Continental Division. They have lost their last 2 games, which came in Monroe, Louisiana on Friday and Saturday on the road. Pee Dee 24-25. 4-1-0. They have 78 points. Trail Columbus by 15 points entering tonight's game.
But in this division, I think the most improved team coming into the playoffs is Pee Dee.
Without a doubt. And it's because of the additions that they made towards the middle of the season, acquiring players like Alexander Leitkov, Vadim Frolov, and Elijah Wilson. Jake Cox, who they just picked up off of waivers. There is the aforementioned Leitkov. He's bumped by Mike Wynn. Right circle, the activating Dominic Delasavita, squeezed by number 72. And Mike, you see it on your screen. Trevor Babin is rocking a new helmet tonight.
Breaking in a new one. Got the custom paint job. I didn't even check it out.
A little bit of River Dragon flair.
Playoff helmet?
I guess so.
If he shuts him out tonight, then no, he'll wear that thing to bed.
You know, both of these teams in a very unique position, as there's a penalty on to Mike Wynn. Alexander Leitkov fell down.
That's of the minor variety, but it's a tough one hitting him on the numbers in the corner. He went down like a sack of potatoes, and Mott's going to get in there for the boarding.
It's going to be Mike Wynn, 44.
Wynn, pardon me.
So the penalty comes at 3:54 of the first. Going back to the goal for the River Dragons. It has not been put onto the score sheet yet, but it's Kyle Moore, number 15, his 18th goal of the season.
Unassisted, right?
Should be an unassisted goal because Sargent
turned it over
at the top. So Columbus on the floor in the core penalty kill. Here are the numbers on the penalty kill. The River Dragons on the penalty kill operate at 82%. Pee Dee on the power play at 21. Dominic Della Savita, Drew Welsh. That goes off of the mitt of Trevor Babin. Dominic Della Savita, he'll let it rip from the left side, and Babin catches that as he slides out of the crease a tad.
And get out of my way. As Balkan gave him the our Pest of the night.
Nick Gullo, number 19.
Yeah, said, get out of my crease.
Trevor Babin, 14-5-4 entering tonight's game, a 3.06 goals against average, a save percentage of .909. Off of the draw, Noah Robinson. Della Savita, Drew Welsh. Della Savita's got it back. Calling for the puck is Elijah Wilson. Della Savita elected to take the shot. Here's a great A, and Babin kicks it aside with emphasis.
Had some juicy turnovers.
Parker Rutherford comes out of his net. Rutherford beaten on the first and only shot of the game so far for Columbus. Left wing side, Patrick Marcinkiewicz, Leitkov to the backhand. Ran out of real estate and went sliding into the corner boards. There's a poke check. Columbus may have numbers, but the captain for Pee Dee just beat Brody Thornton to the puck. Trevor Babin does not have a stick. It's behind his net. Slapping the puck off of the flank, but not out, is Nathaniel Mott. The Columbus defense will have another chance. Brody Thornton can't get it out either. It'll be a forward this time. The third time's the charm. Ryan Hunter will dance. He's tripped. That's a penalty.
What a move, the toe drag to draw the penalty. All you can do in that case is take the body, and he took it down with the stick. And now that evens it up with 18 seconds left on the power play, on now 4-on-4 hockey.
We'll skate 4 aside for 18 seconds, then Columbus heads to the Publix power play. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Hey, it's Bill, your foodie guy, and you know I love food, right? So we've teamed up with Mike and Ed's Barbecue in Columbus on Schaumburg Road and our friends at Pepsi, Buffalo Rock, to create $1 Wing Wednesday. Look what I've got here. I've got a pile of wings, I've got my celery, and I've got my free Pepsi. I'll see you at Mike and Ed's on Schaumburg Road in Columbus. $1 Wing Wednesday. See you there.
Vector Ply Corporation is a world-leading manufacturer of carbon, fiberglass, and Kevlar composite fabrics located in Phoenix City, Alabama. Our customers depend on us to produce iconic brands such as Malibu and Nautique boats, Cub Crafter airplanes, and the historic C8 mid-engine Corvette. Even the light poles surrounding the Columbus Civic Center were produced by a Vector Ply customer using Vector Ply fabrics. If you're looking for an exciting career with a growing manufacturer located right here in the Chattahoochee Valley, visit our website, VectorPly.com, to learn more about Vector Ply and our opportunities.
As we return to the Columbus Civic Center, both Tyler Barrow and Patrick Marcinkiewicz on the ice. Mike, those two battling for the goal lead come season's end. Patrick Marcinkiewicz with 41, Tyler Barrow with 40.
You know, head-to-head battle with the guy that you're trailing or you're just ahead of. Makes it an interesting weekend, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Of note, I mentioned it once, I'll mention it again. No Dominic Marcinkiewicz for PD. They arguably lost their second best player to the Roanoke Railyard Dogs. This is a deep team, though, as Patrick Marcinkiewicz with Dennis Zychik. Patrick's fires. Babin there to make that save. Columbus now on the Public's power play. Ryan Hunter through the 5-hole of Rutherford.
Well, I'll tell you what, very alert play, and I didn't get the number of the defenseman that passed the puck up right out of the zone. He saw Hunter at the blue line, gave the perfect pass. Hunter able to wrist it, and it went right through the 5-hole of Rutherford. And just like that, it's a 2-0 Columbus lead.
It's a Public's power play goal for Ryan Hunter.
Who was that? Was that Thornton? Was that Thornton that lifted that puck up? Or I guess we'll have to watch it on the replay later. But nonetheless, a really alert pass to get it up to Hunter, and then Hunter with that shot able to beat Rutherford.
The score is 2-0 in favor of the Dragons. We are just 6:06 into the game. For Ryan Hunter, that's his league-leading 18th power play goal of the season. The next closest player is Jared Christie, who has 13. A 5-goal difference between the leader and the next closest player in terms of power play goals scored.
I'll tell you, 18 goals for 18 power play goals for a lot of players, that's a career.
A straight-up sniper, Ryan Hunter. And Parker Rutherford could not shut the wickets in time. Here's another chance for Columbus. Ryan Hunter again. Deflects off of the stick of Nolan Sargent, who recovers after his blunder in his opening shift as an Ice Cat.
Got the stick on it, knocks it out of play. You know, 100,000 fans. 100,000 fans.
First time in franchise history that the River Dragons have eclipsed 100,000 total fans to come through the Civic Center doors.
Technically still counting, you got tomorrow.
And the playoffs too.
There's 200,000 people in this local area. That means half the people in this city bought a ticket and came to watch a game. That's pretty outstanding.
We cannot thank you all enough for your support of the Columbus River Dragons, not just tonight, but every night. As Welsh, left wing side, I was impressed with Drew Welsh when these two clubs played in Florence. Welsh engulfed by Mike Wynn. Columbus now has the puck, and it's Ryan Galvin. Galvin searches for Ben Stefanini. Stefanini will negate the icing, force Parker Rutherford to play the puck. It's Stefanini, Galvin, and Scott Doherty out there. Out to the neutral zone it goes, where Nathan Balkwill will play it. Balkwill playing in his 13th game since returning to the lineup on February the 27th. Balkwill, of course, spent the first month or so with Columbus, then departed the club for a couple of months, now has returned, and how about that play right on cue to shed Alexander Laikov right down to the ice. Patrick Marcinkiewicz, league leader in goals, rink-wide Laikov, the productive Russian forward. That's a no-look pass from Patrick Marcinkiewicz, so Timur Razulov will have to go D-to-D at center. Sliding past one will be Laikov, but how about the defensive recovery out of the forward for Columbus, Alex Storjahan.
Oh, boy.
Patekin sends his man down to the deck, and Columbus will get it out. Have they iced the puck? No, they have not. The linesman says, let's play on. 8.5 minutes into the contest. That puck booted by Dennis Zychik over to the far wing. Zychik had a 4-point game in the last game these two clubs played on March the 15th. Zychik behind the net. He'll roll it around far boards. Jacob Hamilton, number 2. He coughs it up. Alexander Jemayev, despite having to contend with 2 sticks, will lay it up north. Tyler Barrow for Kyle Moore. Moore to the far corner, the reach of Alexander Jemayev unsuccessful. So Mott all the way below the goal line. He'll pick up the puck and secure the icing from the linesman. The linesman calling down that icing on an opponent. That's presented by our friends over at Air Force Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
Got to get number 14 to come back on the ice. He's trying to cheat his way off. Think they're going to let him sit on that board. He's just standing up there saying, well, I was just sitting here for getting him a rest.
That's Noah Robinson.
Yeah, he should be on the ice. He jumped over the board.
Robinson was acquired in a trade with Danbury earlier this season. Had 10 goals, 21 assists for 31 points prior to the trade. After the trade, in 16 games, Noah Robinson, 2 points, both goals. One of them in this building, by the way, as we have an icing on PD.
Well, sometimes you make a change, get a trade or whatever, and you know, your stats just don't add up to it.
I'll tell you what, though. The reason why PD looks like one of the more dangerous teams in the playoffs entering tonight's game is because of the moves that they made during the middle of the season. I mentioned Laikov, I mentioned Frolov. They went and acquired Dominic Della Savita, who has done wonders for their blue line. How about both goaltenders? Parker Rutherford and Brendan Colgan weren't even IceCats at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Jacob Hamilton, another one, signed out of the ECHL halfway through the year. That's a hand pass.
You know, when it's at this level, you've got players that sometimes, for whatever reason, in the upper leagues, ECHL, the SPHL and the FP, I know that there's technically maybe a tad above what they like to think, but they're still A hockey.
That's changing, though.
It is in this league. This league is getting a lot more talent.
It's not the way it was. There have been several stars from the ECHL that have come to the FPHL this year. Here's Ryan Hunter, a one-timer he whiffed. Brody Thornton there in support. A headhunter past the helmet of Parker Rutherford. Of note, Rutherford has surrendered 2 goals tonight on 2 shots.
Yeah. 7-2 on the shots. But you know, okay, we got a timeout.
I think we're keeping it right here. What do you got for me, Mike?
No, I was saying, I mean, you look at the chances that PD has had. They've had outstanding chances. They went and brushed the post, just broke by Babin. They've had some turnovers or some plays that they've made in the slot and have tested Babin, but 2 shots on goal and 2 goals for Columbus. You don't normally see that.
That's a good rate of goal scoring.
Yeah.
Ben Stefanini to the cage. Did not get through to Rutherford, so the River Dragons shooting percentage tonight still at 100%. The second goal for Columbus came on the power play. Ryan Hunter, number 88, assisted by the captain, Kirk Underwood, and Tyler Barrow, number 8. With that assist, Tyler Barrow now is on a 22-game point streak. Jake Jurgenite to the net. Babin slid one way, then the other, and denied the biscuit through traffic, and he'll make a glove save on a carom off the end wall.
Good play by Babin. That came off that wall pretty darn hard.
It did. We're 10:32 into the hockey game. Columbus has 2 goals on 2 shots.
Every day we're on the road, dedicated to servicing our community and neighbors. At Air Force Heating and Air, we're committed to your family's comfort all year round. Whether you need repairs, maintenance, or new system installation, the Air Force team is here for you, residential and commercial. Plus, we offer duct cleaning and sealant services, air quality and virus protection, and plumbing. Call Air Force Heating and Air today. Serving you is our top priority.
Oh my cheese. The new OM cheeseburger from Applebee's. We took our juicy all-beef patty, melty American cheese, crispy applewood smoked bacon, spicy honey mustard, and fries, and put it on a sizzling skillet of cheese. So push the cheese, pull the cheese, love the cheese. Too much cheese? Never. Applebee's new OM Cheeseburger for $11.99, also on our 2 for $25 menu.
Welcome back to the Lair. You all saw a commercial for the OM Cheeseburger prior to us coming back. I must say, that looks scrumptious.
Yeah. The queso, is that what that is? Queso cheese?
It's cheese on top of cheese on top of cheese on top of cheese. Liam Gotimer, big cheese guy. We talked about that last broadcast, though.
Hey, for $12.50 a piece, it's 2 for $25. We can go over there and save money.
Well, you know, boneless wings after tonight's game. Here's Scott Doherty, number 13. He's a forward out of Oakville, Ontario. 6'5", 230 pounds. Has a couple of players get rocked, and now Doherty and Jorgenite. A tussle that is short-lived.
Yeah, you got a 21 for Pee Dee. Lucky he's not getting something extra there. McGill was kind of interfering. They frown on that kind of stuff.
That's Nicholas McGill-Diaz, who plays a very clean game for Pee Dee. Involved with Scott Doherty is Jake Jorgenite, who does not shy away from the extracurriculars.
No, I think that's right up his alley.
We saw Jake Jorgenite get involved with Tyler Barrow earlier in the season series right here in this building.
Well, I think there's going to be an original penalty and then 2 coincidental roughs. That's the way it should be.
So the River Dragons should be on the Public's power play here. So you are of the belief that Nicholas McGill-Diaz should receive the initial minor? Mike, what did you see?
I mean, I think it's a board is what it's going to be called, an elbow or a board. I mean, the original infraction, and then, you know, the sword fight and everything else that went along with it after that. You know, you just take both the guys off and sit down for 2 minutes.
We saw Scott Doherty fight Casey Gerstein in Monroe on Friday night.
Ah, put them both up. Put them both up.
2 minutes each for what I can only imagine to be roughing to Scott Doherty and Jake Jorgenite.
What about the initial? What I'm saying is that the initial infraction, the whistle was blown, and then the roughing came afterwards.
We can just hope that there's a delay.
Did we forget about it? Now we're going to have a glass repair.
A little bit of a glass repair here.
There's a man that wants to walk very gingerly on the ice.
So we have a little bit of a delay here. So I have a trivia question for all of the fans. Koalas.
Koalas?
Yes.
Like a bear?
Hear me out. What do they eat consistently? What is the main part of a koala's diet? Let me know in the chat. There's a reason why I'm asking.
All right.
But if anybody knows what the primary source of nutrition is for a koala bear, let me know.
Do they grow bananas in Australia?
Oh, you are asking the wrong guy.
I'm trying to think of what does a koala bear eat?
I'm just going to put my guess out there. Perhaps koala bears enjoy eucalyptus?
Oh, eucalyptus. Isn't that what they put in your breath mint? So they got good smelling breath over there. Eucalyptus.
We are back underway. So it's just 2 minutes each. It's a rough. So we will skate 4 aside. Both players in the box for roughing, which means we have identical penalties for both Jake Jorgenite and Scott Doherty. There's an offside on the River Dragons.
I'm still miffed about that non-call. I mean, the initial penalty and then the 2 roughs.
Oh, you should have seen me in Monroe, huh?
Oh, I heard you. I saw you. I watched you. Yeah, Friday night was a travesty.
That was a tough one for sure. Some of my comments off the cuff. Here's Tyler Barrow blocked. Alexander Lakekov, Hildengo, and Josh Colton said no. The puck came back to Vadim Frolov, who hit the glass.
Didn't miss by much either.
There's Alex Storjahan finishing his check onto Nolan Sargent. Sargent, a blue liner who played a few games with the Monroe Moccasins before getting released. Now with PD. Never a bad thing to add to your blue line. Nolan Sargent's got the puck. Sargent hails from Littleton, Colorado. Same town as Kirk Underwood, the captain. I told him about that once Sargent signed with Monroe. He said, really, I got to check that out. Here's a chance, and what a save by Rutherford onto Hunter.
What a beauty there, Rutherford just diving across and making that stop.
Drew Welsh, he'll slide to the right. He's got a man. It's Elijah Wilson. And the puck deflects off of the body.
Mott able to get that skate on there to stop that one.
Brad Fortin onside. Number 61 has Ryan Hunter at the bottom of the right circle. He's pressed up to the boards by Drew Welsh. Back to 5-on-5 we go, exactly 13 minutes into the opening period of hockey tonight. Doherty, he's checked by Della Savita. Left point, Nathan Balkwill intentionally misses the net, forces Miguel Diaz to make a play. Patakin will pinch up onto Elijah Wilson, and Underwood keeps it in. Another play has to be made here by PD deep in their defensive zone. Della Savita will walk it between the circles. The former Dragon, Benjamin Pizzamenti, left wing side, will roll it around Babin. Babin vacates the cage and thinks twice about where he wants to go, and PD has scored their first of the game.
Top shelf redirect up top. Not much to do on that one there. Babin was just not his fault. A redirect out in front. Is that Cox that scored that? Tipped that?
Jake Cox, the former River Dragon.
There he is.
The native of Columbus, Georgia.
You think somebody's happy about that? From Baton Rouge over to here, and you know he's a Columbus hometown kid. And he actually saw him. I saw him this week. Now, what are you doing? He said, I got traded to PD. I was like, well, we'll see you Friday night. And he gets a goal.
And we certainly see him. Jake Cox, that's his 16th goal of the season. His first goal in his 4th game with PD. And on that goal, Babin came out of the net. Nearly turned it over, got back into position. But by the time he did, the shot came from the line, and Cox deflected it home. Hamilton into the glove of Babin. He snags it. That's the 10th shot of the period for PD. The shot's now 10-3 IceCats.
It's a 2-1 game. It's 10-3 on the shots, and yet Columbus has 2 goals on those 3 shots. They're kind of a very weird period. They only have 3 shots with 6 minutes left.
They don't ask you how, Mike.
Yeah, it's like golf. They don't tell you that it hit the rock and then went on the green.
The goal for PD comes at 13:40.
But I do know if you're a head coach, you definitely want to get more rubber on the goaltender. You know, it's just the way the game's working out.
And we've seen over the last several games between these two clubs that PD has been adept at clocking up the neutral zone, not allowing the River Dragons to produce offensively as they might like to. And tonight, really outside of the opening 5 minutes, the IceCats have executed that same game plan. The goals for the River Dragons, Kyle Moore and Ryan Hunter. For the IceCats, right now it belongs to Nolan Sargent. Believe Jake Cox did get a tip on it.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, Cox redirected it. That should be changed.
So here's Hamilton, number 2. He is physical back there on the blue line. Patrick Marcinkiewicz, his dish. Left side, Leitkov. That nearly took the head off of the referee. The puck will come all the way back into Pee Dee Ice. And you know, Mike, how interesting of a situation is it for both of these teams that after tonight with just 1 game remaining in the regular season, they have no idea who they're facing in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you got it narrowed down to, but both teams are going to face one of the teams that the other team ain't. It's the way it worked out.
Athens and Monroe, a game that you almost certainly want to be tuned into tonight as Babin makes a blocker save. 4:49 to play in the first period. It's 2-1 Dragons.
The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
Columbus, it's time to show your pride with official River Dragons merchandise. Every piece lets you take Columbus hockey with you wherever you go. Stand with your team, show your colors, and bring the energy of the ice to your everyday. Get your River Dragons gear today and wear your loyalty to your club loud and proud. Let's go Dragons! 4:46 left to play here in the opening period of hockey on the Chattahoochee River. My name is Liam Gotimer. Alongside me is Mike V.
Yeah, I'm just curious how you feel about it. The matchup I'd like to see is Columbus-Athens and let Pee Dee and Monroe kind of beat each other up.
Knock one out of the playoffs. That would be nice to know that you don't have to contend with either Pee Dee or Monroe come the second round. My answer to your question, I welcome all comers, but I would rather face Athens. And a couple of reasons for that. Number one, the ice surface in Monroe, not great. And, you know, when you're taking on a team that is used to that ice surface, it can be difficult to get yourself adjusted. On top of that, Columbus has not won in Monroe this season. While in Athens, the River Dragons have looked terrific the last 2 times they were there. Here's Brad Fortin, a big reason why Columbus has had a jolt towards the end of the year offensively. Here's Vadim Frolov. Right side, his centering pass for an oncoming Nick Gullo, the Pest of the game. Gullo ridden into the near side half boards by Josh Colton. Elijah Wilson will dangle, and Colton helps to take that puck away. Colton, Brad Fortin, Alexander Jemayev, and Ryan Hunter will skate in. The puck takes a bounce, though, away from the Dragons, and Nick Gullo will skate out to center. Timur Razulov takes the shot. He misses the net. I had a chance to talk to Timur prior to tonight's game and said, I think it's the coolest thing in the world how you scored your first goal of the season to send your team to the playoffs. And he did just that. He had 33 assists, and his first goal of the year ended up being the game winner to send Pee Dee to the postseason.
Imagine that.
That's hockey, baby, even though it's due to the opponent.
Oh,
there's a penalty onto Kyle Moore, interference.
No doubt on that.
That looked
Well,
awfully similar to Tucker Scantlebury in Monroe. Kyle Moore saying, really, he's going to go down that easy.
Oh, on the dive, yeah.
Now Brody Thornton and Jake Cox engage.
I mean, Moore,
and then disengage.
Moore gets the interference call, no doubt about it. I mean, he took the man out without the puck. And then nothing else, I guess they're just going to leave it at that.
The River Dragons go to the floor in the core penalty kill. 2 minutes for interference to Kyle Moore.
Now, what was the difference between that and the last penalties we saw called? The penalties on Doherty.
Great
the
question.
Same situation, and it doesn't add up.
I did my pregame routine of running up the steps outside this afternoon, as there's a one-timer from Miguel Diaz. He missed the net. I walked past the officials. They seemed like very nice guys. So, you know, let's lay off today. Far corner, right circle, save made by Babin. Nicholas Miguel Diaz, straight on. That took a tip in front of Babin. That was Zajic, who was parked in front of the net. How about Nathaniel Mott? Clearing the biscuit and setting up a grade A scoring chance. Barrow shoots, save, rebound! And Barrow sent it to the near post. Why not having Rutherford play the angle as much as he did?
Yeah, Storchahan was right there to tap it in and got his stick lifted. Couldn't get to the puck.
Nicholas McGill Diaz, the captain of the Pee Dee IceCats. On the outer edge of the left circle, Patrick Marcinkevics. Alexander Lakov right side. Marcinkevics shoots in and out of the glove of Trevor Babin. Marcinkevics, Zajic, one-timer, Babin the save.
Boy, none
on
bigger than
to Lakov.
Boy, Lakov had that. He had that labeled. Babin came over and just robbed him from a goal.
Noah Robinson, double teamed by Colton and the captain, Kirk Underwood. The captain cuts to the inside on Gullo. Della Savita, though, holds the blue. Drew Welsh, right circle. He'll drag, go across, they score. Elijah Wilson, power play goal, PD. It's 2-2.
Tic-tac-toe hockey there on the power play. Open man just got that puck, didn't waste any time, put a top shelf, far side corner, and now this game's knotted up at 2.
You talk about perfect passing there, Mike.
That's crisp, perfect passing. As you say, tick, tack, and then toe.
That's how you execute on a power play. Well done. And sometimes on a power play, it takes your goaltender coming up with a big stop to lead you on to the other end of the ice. And it was Parker Rutherford who stonewalled Tyler Barrow shorthanded. Then, once the IceCats established the offensive zone, they wasted no time. They've scored their second goal of the first period on their 17th shot. Shots now 17-4, IceCats. Brad Fortin with Ryan Hunter, but the puck left behind. Benjamin Pizzamenti will get it deep. That took an interesting bounce off of the
to say the
corner
least.
Boards. We have exactly 60 seconds left to play here in the first. So win D-to-D with Patakin. Brad Fortin, right circle, blocker, denial by Parker Rutherford. You love that passing, though, on the right side of the red line for the River Dragons. Has a great A for PD, and Babin saves the day again. That's his 16th save of the period.
Freeloff just comes. I mean, it just makes moves. I mean, a heck of a hockey player. It comes down the wing and then just cuts in the middle and ends up having a great A shot on goal, and Babin had to make a tremendous stop, keep it out. Got to take the body. You can't let a guy turn you like that. You got to lean into him, take him down, push him out. And they've done that a couple of times this game already.
Legkov controls off the faceoff for his team. He'll throw a snow shower onto a Dragon, but Columbus overtakes possession. They get it only as far as the red line, where PD will move it back into River Dragon ice. Now the puck goes out of play with 24.3 seconds left to go. I'd like to thank Tony Reese from WTVM and Jack Patterson from WRBL stopping by today prior to the puck dropping on tonight's game. How about that? 100,000 fans for the first time in franchise history, and we made a showcase, a spectacle out of the fan who was the one to help us eclipse 100,000. They dropped the puck, the ceremonial puck on tonight's game, and also a bunch of other River Dragon swag to go along with it. Ben Stefanini with time dying in the period. A one-timer from Mott misses the cage. The first period is over.
Doherty took a hit again. That's going to draw a crowd.
Scott Doherty and Jake Jurgenite once more.
It's almost like, the wrong guy to do that to. I mean, of all the guys at the end of the period you're going to give a smack to, you don't normally go after number 13.
To be continued. Huh?
I was going to say, all that's doing is looking like that bull in that 20-degree winter with the steam just coming out of its nose. Doherty just kind of building it up to see if that explodes later on in this game.
The two teams skate off. 22 combined shots in that first period, 17 to the visitors, 5 for the River Dragons. The score, though, 2-2. Liam G and Mike V will break down the frame when we come back.
Every day we're on the road, dedicated to servicing our community and neighbors. At Air Force Heating and Air, we're committed to your family's comfort all year round. Whether you need repairs, maintenance, or new system installation, the Air Force team is here for you, residential and commercial. Plus, we offer duct cleaning and sealant services, air quality and virus protection, and plumbing. Call Air Force Heating and Air today. Serving you is our top priority.
Sorry we're late. Runs in the family, right?
Who are you?
Simple. We get inside, find the cooler, fill it with Pepsi.
Isn't that breaking and entering?
No, it's just entering.
I'm not seeing a cooler.
No problem.
That pool's for us. There's no lifeguard.
This is Aunt Joni. She's married to Uncle Phil. He's from Boca.
Aunt Joni, how is your husband, Phil?
Dead. But I'm very much alive.
I don't quite know.
Can I help you with that?
Oh my gosh, thank you.
To Will and Diane, you go together like Pepsi and hot dogs.
Oh, that's so us, babe.
Pepsi, I'm not needed here.
Have a great party, guys.
It really is the perfect combo. Are your friends in the blue Pepsi truck coming over too?
Abort! I'm not sorry for bringing flavor!
It doesn't get an off day, does it?
Neither do the standards. Getting here is part of the job.
Staying ready is the rest.
Ice looks good today.
Doesn't matter if it's the road, the rink, or the grind. You need something that shows up every time.
Longevity?
Season after season.
Mileage? All day, every day.
Kind of young sung hero, huh?
Same reason people trust us. Toyota, reliable wherever the grind takes you.
Hey, hi, how are you? Liam Gotimer here with you. Alongside me is Mike V. We are 20 minutes through tonight's game. The score is 2-2. Mike, the River Dragons off and running early. Kyle Moore, 1 minute and 51 seconds in, assisted by Scott Doherty and Alex Storjahan. This was Kyle Moore just taking advantage of an IceCat mistake.
Yeah, I mean, he got the nice little breakaway that he worked in. He decided that he was going to move in close, ended up getting the puck by Rutherford for the first goal.
The Dragons would extend their lead from 1-2 at 6:06 when Ryan Hunter, number 88, would score his league-leading 18th power play goal. And sometimes you need the goaltender to give you a little bit of a cookie, and, well, Parker Rutherford gave Ryan Hunter a present on that one.
Well, I mean, goaltenders make unbelievable stops, and sometimes they let some what they want to have, come on back through the 5-hole, unfortunately. But Hunter's got a heavy shot, let it go, and fortunately enough for Columbus, able to get by him.
The goal was assisted by your captain, Kirk Underwood, number 11, and Tyler Barrow, number 8. Make it 22 straight games with a point for Tyler Barrow. And Alex Storjahan has extended his point streak as well to north of 20 games after the River Dragons' 2 goals in that first period. The IceCats, though, Mike, they would respond. First at 13:40, Nolan Sargent gave the puck away to Kyle Moore, which led to the opening goal of the contest. At 13:40, he scored one himself. We thought it got deflected in by Jake Cox, but this was just traffic in front of Babin, paying dividends for the road team.
Yeah, and then, one of the things that happened is you get a guy in front of the net able to just redirect it, just throw it inside. I know they credited Sargent with the goal, but I think Jake's going to get probably in the room there, and they'll probably, get the eraser out and rechange that.
Yep.
Pretty much so.
That should be changed for sure, but for right now, it is Nolan Sargent's goal. Then, less than 5 minutes later, Mike, it would be Elijah Wilson while his team was on the power play, assisted by Noah Robinson and Nick Gullo. Sometimes the way the opposing team is able to pass the puck just kills you, and the Pee Dee IceCats moved the biscuit around so well. It was a thing of beauty.
Well, you got that Moscow connection out there that can pass the puck unbelievably, and they've got tremendous skills. They just went 1, 2, 3, and then before you knew it, it was in the top shelf, and that's that 2-2 and a power play goal.
The goaltenders, Trevor Babin, made 15 saves on 17 shots officially in that opening period. Mike, Trevor Babin continues to do Trevor Babin things in the crease for the Dragons.
I mean, he's faced 17 shots, and unbelievably, Columbus only has 5. But, I mean, he's had 17 shots. Of those 17, at least 5 or 6 of those saves have been just showstoppers. So, doing a great job, even though a couple have got by. None that's his fault. A redirect and a power play goal. Can't stop them all, and here we are at 2.
So you have one goaltender who has seen a ton of rubber tonight, and you have another who has not seen much at all. Parker Rutherford has made just 3 saves on 5 shots.
I find that almost hard to believe, just five shots on net. But that's what we saw. I mean, there was a lot of action that was inside of the Columbus zone, a lot of possession that Pee Dee had. Columbus was more on spurt breaks and quick breaks and such, but haven't got the puck on net like they'd like to. But the 2 that have gone in, they don't want them back, that's for sure, and we'll see what happens here in the second period.
We will most certainly see what happens once the puck drops on the second period. That's coming your way, by the way, in 11 minutes and 55 seconds. Let's take a quick timeout. Then, when we return, it's time for the Out-of-Town Scoreboard, brought to you by our friends over at Zelmo Zippin, and standings around the Federal Prospects Hockey League with the playoffs on the horizon.
Didn't think termites were up this early.
They really don't go to sleep. But now that it's warming up, termites really start moving.
But I'm good, right?
Oh yeah, you're good. Don't worry about pests this spring. Call Cooks, and you'll already be a step ahead of them.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie Cooks Pest Control.
Hey, it's Bill, your foodie guy, and you know I love food, right? So we've teamed up with Mike and Ed's Barbecue in Columbus on Schaumburg Road and our friends at Pepsi Buffalo Rock to create $1 Wing Wednesday. Look what I've got here. I've got a pile of wings, I've got my celery, and I've got my free Pepsi. I'll see you at Mike and Ed's on Schaumburg Road in Columbus. $1 Wing Wednesday. See you there.
You're not the only one.
A warm welcome back to Hockey on the Chattahoochee. My name is Liam Gotimer. Alongside me is Mike V. Here's the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Zelmo Zippin. And Mike, we begin our drive in Port Huron. The Prowlers. A little birdie tells me that that game started with a fight right off of the draw. 3-2 is the score. The Prowlers are in the lead. You talk about getting your fans fired up right away.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also last chance for romance for some of these guys that had some like little things that have carried over in the season. Hey, we're getting this done right now, right off the draw. So, but that game right there is with 3-2.
It's 3-2 Port Huron. And now it's 4-2 Port Huron. A little bit of a live update for you all on the River Dragons Broadcast Network. Before that score changes again, let's slide over to the Binghamton Black Bears and the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Binghamton, they're up 1-0. Well, they're up 2-0. My goodness. The Black Bears.
They'll be up by 6-0 before you know it.
Yeah.
That team is just unbelievable, going through that division like a buzzsaw.
Like a knife through butter, am I right? Hot knife through butter.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. The Blue Ridge Bobcats and the Twin City Thunderbirds. That's quite a rivalry. One team's going to the playoffs, one team is not. And, well, isn't it crazy to say that the Thunderbirds are not headed to the postseason?
A little bit of a surprise at what we've seen for the last few years with Twin City. And of course, no tears here in Columbus about that. I mean, good riddance. Thank you very much. But we'll see what happens with them as far as moves in the offseason, where they're going to kind of break up that team now that they're not in that run.
We'll most certainly see what happens in Winston-Salem this offseason. The winds of change might just come their way. The Indiana Sentinels and the Topeka Scarecrows scoreless in the first period. It was Indiana who got the win last night over Topeka, and that victory for the Sentinels pushed them right over the Watertown Wolves. They are no longer in last place in the Empire Division. So shout out to the Sentinels in their first year for climbing their way out of the basement. Two final games to tell you all about. The last one is the most important outside of the Dragons and the IceCats, of course. Biloxi and Baton Rouge, two teams that are headed to the golf course quite soon. It's 0-0 in the first period. Got to get tea time ready. The Athens Rock Lobsters and the Monroe Moccasins. Mike, this game decides the postseason for both the Pee Dee IceCats and your Columbus River Dragons. Not just tonight's game, tonight and tomorrow. With that said, let's send it to the standings around the league so I can break down exactly what the scenario looks like for the Dragons in terms of their first round opponent. Right now, the Athens Rock Lobsters, they are in first place in the Continental Division. They have 1 point on the Monroe Moccasins. So if Athens wins tonight, they have 122 points. Monroe has 118, which means with 1 game left, there's no chance that the Monroe Moccasins catch the Rock Lobsters. But if Monroe wins on home ice tonight and do the same tomorrow, they will win the Continental Division, which means they will face the Pee Dee IceCats, and the River Dragons will take on the Athens Rock Lobsters.
So you can say go Monroe, more or less, in your rooting.
I personally am rooting for the Monroe Moccasins.
Yes. Yeah. And the thing that Athens happened with them against Indiana, they had that brawl at the end of the game, which meant nothing for Athens, really. As far as the game is over, nothing to achieve, and they lost some players for suspensions.
I might as well mute my mic talking about the suspensions that have come down as a result of that. Or the ones that haven't. The former River Dragon Michael Greco was heavily involved in that fray, didn't get a game. Philip Virgili and Malik Johnson each got 2 games, which I can understand, but with just 2 games left in the regular season, you would like to see something of that magnitude perhaps yield more than 2 games. But
you want it to go into the playoffs? I
wouldn't mind it.
Well, I'm sitting over here in these seats, I understand, but as far as the league, the impact or whatever for playoffs,
it got out of hand.
But if it was the other way, if the shoe was on the other foot,
I'll tell you what.
You hate to get suspensions from the regular season that carry over into the playoffs unless it was so egregious that, beyond hockey scope.
I'm not too upset at the 2 games to Virgili and Johnson. I do understand that for exactly that reason, Mike. It's just the Greco one, Greco kind of got himself involved after the fact, after the 2 teams had initially separated, and you just don't even don't even give them a game or a fine. I'm just a little bit perplexed by that. But we're not the league office, and we respect the decision that did come down. But Athens, despite those suspensions not going past 2 games and Michael Greco not getting one, they're still shorthanded tonight in Monroe and tomorrow as well. The Pee Dee IceCats, they are in 4th place. They are cemented into 4th. They are awaiting the team that wins the Continental Division. 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3. It'll be a best-of-3 series.
Roughest series in hockey, that first round, 2 out of 3. I mean, your whole season rides on that first. Man, I really, one of the things that interesting to see your take on it, because I've seen it and I don't like it, is when you have home ice advantage. But because of the situations teams are at this level, building availability is something that you can't, when you're doing the schedule in July,
can't forecast.
You can't forecast I'm going to be in the playoffs, when I'm going to be in the playoffs, and what place I'm going to be in the playoffs. So therefore, there's building unavailability, and sometimes the first place team ends up having to go on the road to start something. I don't like playing the first game on the road and have 2 at home. I'd rather get that advantage at home. You know what I mean? With the
I love it. I'm calling games for the Dragons.
I dig it. You know what I'm saying? But, and I, like I said, sometimes it lands in your, when it lands in your area, you're like, hey, I don't have a problem with it. But if you look at it, and I've been on the other end of that, it's always been, it's just, you can rob one. You can get a 4th place team, just play a great game, a 2-1 game in overtime, something like that. Next thing you know, it's topsy-turvy.
Then suddenly they're in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mike. With that said, before the second period does begin, River Dragons fans, this is it. Your last chance to snag a custom authentic jersey. Any player, past or present, any number, any color. Don't just be a fan. Wear what the pros wear. Represent the Dragons the authentic way. Grab yours online before the deadline of April 19th. Adult jerseys to the left, youth jerseys to the right. And fans, did you miss out on any of our specialty jerseys this year? Well, here is your second chance. We're raffling off a bundle of 5, yes 5, custom specialty jerseys, your size, your name, your number. You could win the whole thing for as low as $10. Don't wait. The raffle ends on 4/20. Head to Dash right now to grab your tickets and win the ultimate River Dragons set.
Don't forget that day, 4/20. You got to make sure you get it in by then.
Don't forget that day. No. It's certainly a day on the calendar. River Dragons fans, do you want to meet the Dragons at center ice? Well, now's your chance. Our limited edition Hockeytown jersey auction is live. Win your favorite player's jersey and join us on the ice tomorrow night for a private signing and photo opportunity. The auction ends after the first intermission, not on 4/20, on April 11th. That's less than 24 hours away. Don't miss out on the ultimate fan experience. Get your bids in now and own the ice with the Dragons.
I always love that end of the season auction in there. Everybody's trying to bid on those jerseys, grab them, whatever they need. It's always a great time to go in there and kind of mingle with the players and everything at the end of the year.
And it's the Hockeytown jerseys, Mike, which the River Dragons will only wear twice this season. They, of course, wore them in Athens earlier this year, and they will wear them on Saturday night, which is tomorrow. Dragons fans, one last thing to tell you about. Don't miss out. Now is your chance to own a piece of game day history with an authentic Hockeytown locker nameplate. These are the actual plates. Yes, the actual plates from the players' lockers, and every single one will be autographed by the player. Scan that QR code and place your bids for your favorite player. I see Kyle Moore's name on there. He lit the lamp tonight. Skate Scaldi, number 37. He's not playing, but he's always a firecracker out there. We're thinking about you, Skate. Get your autographed nameplates right now on Dash. Scan that QR code. But with that said, 20 minutes on the clock. Both teams on the sheet. The Columbus River Dragons and the Pee Dee IceCats for the second of 3 regulation periods of hockey tonight in the Fountain City.
I'm just curious if Jerome Bouchard trying to get his guys to get a little more heads up on the moves that these talented Pee Dee forwards are getting some golden chances out in front of Babin. Babin has come up with 15 of 17, but you got to kind of be able to, get yourself in the blue liners in a position where if a guy's coming in, I've always said it, if you try to do the stick move, a little stick check, or try to just do a sweep check, these guys are too good. Got to get the body in front of him, put you in front of him, and the puck carrier in the net, and assist your goaltender. Don't let him make moves on him and let him walk in.
We'll see what adjustments the River Dragons make from the first period to the second. The score, though, still 2-2. Alexander Jemayev and the pest of the game, Nick Golo at center ice. Golo wins the puck back for his team. We're officially underway for the second. The IceCats have possession. This is Liam Gotimer saying, it's go time on the middle frame. And you know what? I have one last phrase to get in from the team for our wonderful social media segment. Josh Colton said, it's go time for Liam. So it's not just go time for the Dragons. It's go time for Liam, too.
All right. You go.
Left point, Jake Jurgenite. His shot blocked by the man I just mentioned, Josh Colton. Fortin does good work inside of his own blue line, but holding the top was Dennis Zajic. His sweep over to the middle, picked off by Fortin. Jemayev did well to sidestep Lytkov. That could have been quite a collision there,
that
Mike.
could have been picking up molars off the ice.
Don't want that. Patriks Marcinkiewicz out of Latvia. Here's Lytkov out of Russia. That shot deflected off of a stick. It goes high into the air. Marcinkiewicz played it to a vacated space where Ryan Hunter picked it up, gloves the biscuit to himself, braces for a hit. That comes. He stands his ground, though, up along the near wall in the offensive zone. Hunter skates away from one. His pass from Moore, it was behind him. Patriks Marcinkiewicz with a step on the backhand. Nathaniel Mott shut him right off.
Push him out of there.
There's the fire starter of the night, showcasing that defensive prowess. And he makes another good play right outside of his own blue line to set up his forwards on the offensive. It's Storjahan with Barrow and Moore. Lytkov will streak past Mott and Thornton. A one-handed try, and Babin got to the puck in time.
Once again, he's got that move, and he just fakes guys out of their jocks to be, like, unbelievable.
Fakes guys out of their jocks.
When that happens, the guy made a move on you, believe me.
That's certainly a phrase. We are 8:20. 8:20, yes. 8:20 into the second. That's a good one. .220, that is. My apologies. The scoreboard is not exactly visible to me, so I thought I was looking at an 11 instead of a 7. I should have known better. Here's Noah Robinson, number 14. Nathan Balkwill, number 18. Near wing, Ben Stefanini. Near wing, Stefanini. Stefanini, a former member of the Monroe Moccasins. You talk about a player that was beloved over there. Stopped by nearly every single fan that came close to the Dragon locker room.
Well, he laid some serious body check upon the Pee Dee defenseman, number 2.
He's not afraid to throw the body. Neither is that man, Scott Doherty. Doherty will send and skate. He'll apply the pressure onto Sargent, who worked it up for his forward, and Elijah Wilson, who has a goal tonight. High slot. That's a rip that hit the glass. Jemayev inside of the blue line. Stretched. Tipped by Hunter. Whacked by Sargent right back into the possession of Hunter, and it was kept onside. This might be a chance for the River Dragons. Thornton fires. He had Jemayev at the back door. Left wall, wind shoots. That hit a body. The reach of Jemaev unsuccessful, so Colton will skate back onto it. 3:40 into the period. If you're just joining us, the 2 goals for Columbus, Kyle Moore and Ryan Hunter in the first. Jemaev, left wing, gets smudged up to the glass. He'll get it deep. Jurgenite plays it only as far as Colton, who is waiting at the outskirts of the offensive zone. Rutherford had to pat it away. That the first shot of the period for the Dragons and their 6th bid to the opposing net overall tonight.
They haven't put it up on the board.
Here's Brad Fortin. This might be a 4-on-2. Fortin will cut in, and he ran out of real estate. Left point, Mike Wynn. Past the stick of Storjahan. Jurgenite. Far side corner, now below the goal line. The defenseman who mixed it up with Scott Doherty in the first period. Tape to tape. Alexander Leitkov. He'll streak in. He'll go across. It hit the upper body of Kyle Moore. And now Tyler Barrow, the league leader in points. Rink wide. Brody Thornton will shoot. Parker Rutherford stays standing to waffle board that biscuit away. Here's Patrick Marcinkevich's pad save made by Babin. He's crashed into by Leitkov. Babin lost his stick. Tyler Barrow
2 players without a stick.
Gives the paddle back to the goaltender. Also without a stick. Was a member of the IceCats. They pick it back up. Zajac, Marcinkevichs. He's got a man to the right. Tried to get it there. Zajac will try. And a swing and a miss. Barrow with more. The IceCats get it out. This might be a 2-on-1 for Leitkov and Marcinkevichs. But making the recovery was Brody Thornton. He'll still have to defend here, as threading the needle is Marcinkevichs. That puck turned over. Now Kyle Moore sets up Brody Thornton. Thornton shoots. Pad denial, Parker Rutherford. Here's another chance for Thornton. That was a one-timer that Rutherford got his left pad over to 6 minutes into the frame. There's some more chances at the IceCat goal there, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, they've had 2 good chances.
And I'm curious, what do you say if you're the head coach of the River Dragons to your team in the locker room? 2 games that are essentially meaningless, but you get off to a hot start, then Pee Dee takes it to you in the last half of the opening period.
I mean, you want to play a clean game. You want to keep it simple. You don't have to go crazy. I mean, of course, hockey will make you crazy. Somebody will do something to you, and all that goes out the window. You know what I mean. I mean, the biggest thing is you just don't want somebody to have an injury.
That's the biggest thing, right? You want to make sure that you are at full strength come the playoffs. Lair Patakin will spin and shoot. He misses the net. The puck goes off of the corner boards. Galvin with it now. Galvin, a centering pass, missed the stick of Balkwill. Nearly got to Stefanini, but the IceCats cleaned it up first. Here's Galvin with a driving Hunter. Galvin rings it off of the outside of the post.
Oh, high stick.
There's a high stick. Jemaev clipped. Columbus to the Public's power play when we come back. We're 7:20 into the second period.
Dad, are we there yet?
Not even close.
Sweet.
Have we gone too far? Maybe, but life's too short not to.
The Subaru Forester Hybrid, 581 miles per tank. Love goes the extra mile.
think I recognize that last person out there on that promo. Good job.
To all of our partners, thank you so much. And not only is it a pleasure to be partnered with so many wonderful businesses around the area, it's the people you meet too, right, Mike?
Oh.
And I want to shout out one individual I really enjoyed getting to know as a slapper from Barrow misses the net. Ron Jones. That's my guy. Shout out to you, Ron Jones. One of the biggest Dragon fans I know.
Yeah, they become like family to you, you know?
They do.
They do.
And how about another partner? Publix, presenting our power play. Ryan Hunter, that puck took a bounce, and Rutherford brings it into his gear.
They still only have Columbus with 7 shots listed. I'm going to put the inquiry card on that. I think that they've missed some shots, but nonetheless, an opportunity here on the power play with 117. Now you get Storjahan in there.
The second goal for Athens, by the way, went to John Calgin. Or second goal for the Rock Lobsters went to John Calgin, leading that game to a 2-1 score over in Monroe. Keep you posted on that. A reminder that if Athens wins, they win the Continental Division. If they win in regulation, that is. Which means your River Dragons will officially take on Monroe a week from tonight. Here's a tip and a save by Rutherford onto Moore, and Moore...
Oh, he got hammered.
Got brought down to the deck by Jurgenite. Man, Jake Jurgenite, he's all over the place.
That's a tough spot to have your helmet right there when you kind of jam it with somebody and snap it back up. But he took a pretty good shot there right in the slot right after the puck got tied up.
Smart of Kyle Moore not to engage at all.
Yeah, I mean, your team's on the power play. I mean, you know, there's plenty of time left in the game. Then you know you're going to run into that defenseman later on.
42 seconds to go on the aforementioned power play. This will be the IceCats who will dump it all the way down. Nick Gullo, the pest of the game, the one to send the puck all the way down the sheet. On the ice for Columbus, it's the man with the puck. That's Josh Colton, number 5. Brody Thornton, number 65. A quick tap to the near wing, Alexander Jemayev. The final 2 players outside of those 3, Scott Doherty and Brad Fortin. Then, of course, the goaltender, Trevor Babin.
One thing Pee Dee's doing right now, they've stepped it up physically. They're starting to bang guys around.
Jemayev turns it over to Robinson, who lifted his stick from behind. Babin a blocker save. Shots on goal, 21-8. Officially, that is. Jemayev, Fortin, Jemayev on the backhand. He'll spin away from Sargent. Bottom of the right circle, Jemayev. He'll keep the cycle going. Brad Fortin picks up the puck as he comes together with Sargent. Right point Patakin. That hit a body. And Noah Robinson will walk it out. We are exactly halfway through the hockey game. Thank you so much for joining us on the River Dragons Broadcast Network. Back to even strength as well. Power play well over. The smooth skating captain of your River Dragons, Kirk Underwood. No player has suited up in more games for this franchise than him. Nathan Balkwill, his D-to-D attempt. There was a forward back. That was Galvin. He's the last line of defense outside of the goaltender, and Galvin handles it with a plum, the defensive centerman. Stefanini there in support of Galvin, and he'll ring it in behind Rutherford. 9:20 left to play here in the second. We're still tied. Kyle Moore and Ryan Hunter helped the River Dragons out to an early lead. Here is Storjahan. His pass picked up by Galvin over at the far side of the ice. did not have enough time to let it rip to toward the PD net. How about Storjahan outside of the blue line, picking it up and setting up Kyle Moore for a slapper that is collected by Rutherford. 8:55 to go in the second. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Hey, it's Bill, your foodie guy, and you know I love food, right? So we've teamed up with Mike and Ed's Barbecue in Columbus on Schaumburg Road and our friends at Pepsi Buffalo Rock to create $1 Wing Wednesday. Look what I've got here. I've got a pile of wings, I've got my celery, and I've got my free Pepsi. I'll see you at Mike and Ed's on Schaumburg Road in Columbus. $1 Wing Wednesday. See you there.
Columbus, it's time to show your pride with official River Dragons merchandise. Every piece lets you take Columbus hockey with you wherever you go. Stand with your team, show your colors, and bring the energy of the ice to your everyday. Get your River Dragons gear today and wear your loyalty to your club loud and proud. Let's go Dragons! Welcome back to Columbus, Georgia. My name is Liam Gotimer here with you. Tomorrow night is the final home game of the regular season, but it's the final home regular season game for Brandon Schwobel, our producer here in the broadcast booth. Brandon, and to his crew, thank you so much for all you do, not just today, but every day.
All right. Great guy.
Great guy.
Helps out a lot up here.
Also, shout out to our cameramen tonight, Matt Schwobel and Kellen. It's easy to stand up here and call the game, right, and look pretty. But what's not easy is everything that goes on behind the scenes.
Oh, no.
Here's Leitkov looking to untie this game. Patrick Smarcinkiewicz, how about that stick lift from the back by Storjahan? He had Tyler Barrow at the blue line. Missed him. Barrow tried to set Storjahan up on the secondary attempt. Nothing got through. Meanwhile, Patrick Smarcinkiewicz hit by Thornton. He'll still lay it softly for Hamilton, who tickles the twine. It's 3-2.
He ripped that from the point. Just a riser and just cleanly beat Babin. I'm not sure if Babin was screened a little or not, but nonetheless, it went to the back of the net.
You talk about a celebration. And for Hamilton, that's his third goal as an Ice Cat in his 14th game. Came from the ECHL's Orlando Solar Bears. And there's another example, right? You know, Mike, we talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast. The FPHL, not the same league. And Jake Hamilton, definitely a player that is effective on both sides of the ice.
Yeah.
You can add that physicality into the equation, too. He's a bruiser. Here is Noah Robinson. His pass blocked off by Nathaniel Mott. Good defensive work by Nathaniel. Another slap shot, that time from Sargent. Why not?
Got to move our skates, get it out, and we do.
Hunter to the center ice logo. Thornton. He's hooked. Nothing there. Welsh. Cox takes a bump, but still lays it free for Robinson. Up ahead for Miguel Diaz. Josh Colton does well to one-hand it out to center. Colton's got it back now. Far side corner defensive zone. It's coughed up to Frolov. Frolov to the middle. Taken by Gullo. Gullo, left point, Miguel Diaz. Mike Wynn engulfs his man. Gullo comes over to scoop up the puck. Jurgenite from the right wall to the outskirts of the offensive zone. Miguel Diaz will drift left. Jurgenite waits for the feed from Pizzamenti. Pizzamenti will keep it down low instead. Underwood with a chance to get it out. He can't. Mike Wynn will now get the job done. Hunter inside of the blue line, now to the red line, and forced far corner. Underwood ridden into the backboards. That's a penalty on Miguel Diaz.
That's close to a 5-minute. He slewed his foot.
Balkwell comes over to defend his former defensive partner in Kirk Underwood. Ben Stefanini, Lair Patakin, and Ryan Galvin all there as well, taking exception for Kirk Underwood's fall into the boards.
That is a borderline dirty play. I'm not saying that he did it exactly on purpose, but he kicked the foot right up against the wall there. Darn good thing nobody got hurt.
And there's mutual respect between Nicholas Miguel Diaz and Kirk Underwood, both captains of their respective teams.
Is he going to take him, and is he going to even this up?
It looks that way, Mike.
I mean, have you guys pissed off the referees in this league or what? I mean, it's amazing.
I walked past them today. I gave them a nice smile. I said, hello, how are you?
Wow.
So I promise it's not me. Balkwell will get 2 minutes, perhaps, for the retaliation.
And the initial call goes away.
And Miguel Diaz gets 2 minutes for the initial call.
Wow.
It's a developmental league, Mike. That goes for the officials, too. I can't say I agree with it, but
I'm amazed.
I would have been a lot more upset if these games mattered, to be honest.
Well, I mean, yeah, but...
Oh, what do we got there?
Nothing.
Oh, my goodness.
Nothing. Look at...
you know... I'm going to hit mute for a second. I'm not actually going to hit mute. Don't.
Wow.
And now a breakaway for the IceCats because, of course, Patrick Marcinkevic scores. Absolutely unreal. Mike?
I don't know how Jerome Bouchard isn't throwing water bottles out on the ice right now. I mean, you know what? Watch this league for a while, but I've just watched.
Oh my goodness!
I mean,
they got a doozy for us in game 55 out of 56. Yeah?
I'm a homer. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, golly, I mean, what are you gonna do?
You know. Can we zoom in on Nick Golo talking to the referee, please? Can't get it now. It's all good. Probably saying, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And now Tyler Barrow is going to get a penalty.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Probably for abuse of officials.
Yeah, I was going to say unsportsmanlike. I mean, they don't make the call and then they give him the call.
It's just.
It's amazing, isn't it?
All you can do is smile and continue calling the game. But fans, the River Dragons got cheated out of a win on Friday night in Monroe, and though a week has passed, nothing has changed.
No.
And you know, the Marcinkevic's goal is really the killer, right? You know?
Right after the call. It happens right after it. Or the non-call. After the bad call. Just adding it up.
Somebody call Michael Jackson. I know you can't call him anymore. But bad. Because I'm bad. You're really, really bad. See, I'll sing instead of, like I did in Monroe. The singing helps. Marcinkevic's right circle. Lykov, cross ice. The puck pinballs back to Marcinkevic's, who has the 4th goal of the game for the IceCats. Make it 4 unanswered goals for Pee Dee. Blocker save by Babin. Miguel Diaz and Nathan Balkwell will be released from the penalty box in 15 ticks. Tyler Barrow in 40. Patrick Marcinkevic's left side. Save made by Babin. Della Savita will test number 72, who aces it. Della Savita, right circle to the net. Out of the box, both Balkwell and Miguel Diaz. That's a positive for the River Dragons. You get another blue liner out there on the ice. Now 3 defending the cage. 3 out of the 4 players. Brody Thornton, Nathaniel Mott, and Nathan Balkwell. The other player is Alex Storjahan, who, of course, is a forward. Barrel to be released in 10 seconds. De La Savita, he's got a lot of room to shoot. Babin makes the save. The rebound comes out, and it may have gotten blocked before getting to Babin, that being the follow-up. One-timer, Zajic. Babin closes the pads onto that, too. Barrow's penalty, by the way, at 14-14, unsportsmanlike conduct. Yeah. De La Savita, left side, Miguel Diaz hits the window, now to the wall. Brody Thornton will fly through center. Thornton may have a step on Miguel Diaz. He'll turn away from him as he reaches the far corner instead. Straight on Mike Wynn shoots, and a glove grab made by Rutherford. And you know, Mike, before we send it to a commercial timeout, I'd love to get your opinion. See that Mike Wynn take that shot from the point?
Yeah.
Would you like to see the River Dragons take a few more shots from the outside and utilize their points?
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, to answer that question, yes. I'd like to see that, and I'd like to see somebody post it up into the slot. Well, I think we've gotten away from a little bit, and we'll get into it after the commercial break, but we got to get back into that. You got to post somebody in front to try to get either redirects or rebounds.
The shot's 28-10. The score is 4-2 PD. We'll be right back.
It doesn't get an off day, does it?
Neither do the standards. Getting here is part of the job.
Staying ready is the rest.
Ice looks good today.
Doesn't matter if it's the road, the rink, or the grind. You need something that shows up every time.
Longevity.
Season after season.
Mileage. All day, every day.
Kind of young sung hero, huh?
Same reason people trust us. Toyota. Reliable wherever the grind takes you.
3:05 to go in the second period. I know earlier in the frame I gave a shout out to our production staff. I would be remiss if I did not mention one name. Marcus Thaxton. I love you, brother. Thank you for all your help this season. Noah Robinson. Right side, that goes off to the side of the net. Brad Fortin takes a check right next to the IceCat bench. 2:40 left to go here in the second. If you are just joining us, Columbus scored the first 2 goals of this game. Kyle Moore and Ryan Hunter, both in the first period. 1 goal at even strength. That was the goal for Moore. 1 on the power play, of course, scored by Ryan Hunter. Since then, though, it's been 4 unanswered goals for the Pee Dee IceCats, who have the puck in the offensive zone. Miguel Diaz will skate back onto it as the puck comes behind Parker Rutherford, who's the goaltender. He's had to make just 8 saves on 10 shots tonight. Rutherford, in his last appearance, made 33 saves on 37 shots on April the 3rd against the Twin City Thunderbirds. That was a loss. Nolan Sargent back on it for PD. Benjamin Pizzamenti, the former Dragon out of Iowa City, Iowa. Miss having Benjamin Pizzamenti over here. It's a good guy. Ryan Galvin is drop pass. Balkwill at the left point, just got there in time. The score in Monroe, by the way, still 2-1 Rock Lobsters, so if that score holds, the Rock Lobsters win the Continental, and Columbus has a date with Monroe a week from tonight here in this building. Lykov for Frolov. Past his twig. Doherty will skate out with Galvin and Patakin. Galvin, right point. Rutherford, an emphatic one-handed swipe of the puck with his paddle. Galvin does well to create the turnover. Doherty to the slot. Jemayev denied by Rutherford. Here's Thornton shooting, and Rutherford squeezes that. What do we got? Jake Jurgenite and Scott Doherty here. It's about time that
Well,
things came to blows between those two. Doherty shed his glove, saying, "I'm ready when you are, brother."
Yeah, he kind of grabbed onto him. Doherty just grabbed onto his jersey and just kind of did that old, you want some of this? And it was kind of, the arms went down, and it was like, not at this present moment in time.
A little bit of John Cena. You want some? Come get some.
Yeah.
But it's not worth it to potentially get yourself injured, right, Mike?
No, at this point, but
both for Pee Dee and for the River Dragons.
But you got to. I'm a firm believer that you play the game like you play the game, because when you try not to get hurt is when you seem to get hurt.
Yeah, right. Get out of the flow.
Yeah.
As here's a chance for Della Savita. He's parked at the near post, and it's put into the net. Dominic Della Savita makes it 5-2 Pee Dee. They've scored 5 straight here.
He just banked it off the back of Babin. It was from the bad angle. Just rebounded off of him. Went right back into the net. And now getting a little out of hand, 5-2.
So Dominic Della Savita gets the goal. For Della Savita, that's his 6th goal in his 34th game of the season. 27-year-old blue liner, played with Justin Somero over in college. So Patrick Marcinkiewicz, after scoring his league-leading 42nd goal in the second period, follows that up by assisting on the tally for Della Savita. More at the blue. He'll wait, take a check to make a play. Storjahan far corner. His lay attempt back to the line unsuccessful as he came together with Robinson. And now Barrow.
Storjahan wants it
and
right
Storjahan want a piece of Sargent.
Barrow came in too there. When you got Barrow upset, Barrow's getting unsportsmanlike conducts and getting involved in frays.
Well, with the way this
you know things are going, things are going a little batty.
Yeah. Well, the period has come to an end. And this has still not ended.
You know, one of the things that happens in hockey, too, and you wonder why sometimes games get out of control, is when referees don't make calls, or they're just not calling it in an even fashion. Let's just say that, or ignoring.
Can't say that's been done tonight.
It's just the frustration ends up happening, and then one thing leads to another, and you get your number one scorer in the box for unsportsmanlike and getting involved in little frays.
I can't wait to talk to you about all of that and more when we come back to the Civic Center. The IceCats have a 5-2 lead over the River Dragons.
You're not the only.
Hey, it's Bill, your foodie guy, and you know I love food, right? So we've teamed up with Mike and Ed's Barbecue in Columbus on Schaumburg Road and our friends at Pepsi Buffalo Rock to create $1 Wing Wednesday. Look what I've got here. I've got a pile of wings, I've got my celery, and I've got my free Pepsi. I'll see you at Mike and Ed's on Schaumburg Road in Columbus. $1 Wing Wednesday. See you there.
Dad, are we there yet?
Not even close.
Sweet.
Have we gone too far? Maybe, but life's too short not to.
The Subaru Forester Hybrid, 581 miles per tank. Love goes the extra mile.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
This is Liam Gotimer saying, it's go time on the intermission. Hey there. My name, once again, is Liam Go Time Gotimer. Alongside me is Mike V. Mike, the score was 2-2 after 20. The Pee Dee IceCats, though, with 3 unanswered goals in the second period. And it all started when Jacob Hamilton, he ripped a one-timer past Trevor Babin, and he celebrated it.
No, he did. I mean, and that's it. That ended up being a 3-2 game at that point, and you're thinking, well, okay, you know, I mean, it's a goal. They came back with some, but boy, it doesn't get any better than that.
Then the period just changed, didn't it? We had several penalties. Of note, though, it was Nicholas McGill-Diaz, the captain for the IceCats. He came together with our captain, number 11, Kirk Underwood, in a play that you described in the moment that very well could have been a little bit dirty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that you can review the film on that later on, but it looked like he took his skate out right next to the board there. I mean, and at that point you think, okay, power play, here we go. And then again, one thing leads to another, and that ended up being just canceled out by a coincidental rough.
It would be a coincidental rough, like you said. It would be on Nathan Balkwell, who would go to the box in the same moment as Nicholas McGill-Diaz. Then, while the two teams were skating for a side, it would be Patrick's Marcinkiewicz. He found the back of the net just 30 seconds after the 4-on-4 began.
Yeah, the 4-on-4, and then you have to remember that there was a non-call in there coming up.
Yes. It came right after the goal, the penalty to Tyler Barrow for unsportsmanlike conduct. Of course, we can foresee why Barrow got that penalty, right? I mean, frustrated due to the miscalls in that period. Then Marcinkiewicz scores 30 seconds later. I'd be frustrated. You'd be frustrated. My dead grandfather would be frustrated in the grave. We all would.
Everybody was. Especially if you're a River Dragon fan right now.
Yep, right on. At 19:28, it would be Dominic Della Savita who would really score the back-breaking goal. That's a blue liner deep in the offensive zone, and he just tapped it in.
Yeah, one of those plays that, the goaltender, not in position, so to speak, he kind of banked it off the back of him and put it in the net. That's just the way that worked out on that.
Trevor Babin, through 40 minutes of play, he had to make 15 saves in the first period. Through 40, 24 saves on 29 shots. Number 72 has given up 5 goals. Not much he could have done on any of those, to be honest.
It's not a goaltender problem. I mean, it's a couple of things. It's been some power plays. It's been some non-calls. It's been some frustration, and everything is just kind of unraveled for the River Dragons. I mean, in this period coming up, while this game means absolutely nothing to both these teams, certainly there's one thing that the River Dragons want to do. They want to kind of correct the course, get into a situation where you can kind of start working yourself into getting a system that you're going to be able to stick with. At this point, there's a lot of running around. There seems to be just not the same River Dragon up and down hockey that we've been used to seeing. It's kind of been a little bit off kilter, and hopefully in the third period they can get themselves back on the same page and put the puck in the net. They need to get one right off the bat.
They do. Certainly need a goal in the opening 5 minutes of the third period in order to try and come back and force overtime here on the Chattahoochee River, but a long way to go. The River Dragons down 5-2. The other goaltender outside of Trevor Babin, that's Parker Rutherford for the Pee Dee IceCats, number 30 in white has made 9 saves on 11 shots. Mike, Parker Rutherford had to make just 3 saves in that first period. In the second, he stopped every single shot that he saw, only had to go 6 for 6.
Well, I mean, he certainly he hasn't been tested a lot. I mean, there's a few more shots I think that should be registered on there that they haven't given, the River Dragons credit for. But be it as it may, Rutherford had a good period. I mean, he stopped everything that was thrown at him, made a couple of dandies actually, and this is one of the things that happen when you don't get a lot of shots on goal to a goaltender. All of a sudden, you get a few rallies, getting some shots on him. What they need here in the third period, they need to throw at least 15 shots up on this guy.
Yep.
Really test him. And like you said, I think one of the things too, take a little more action from the point. Stop trying to play perimeter hockey, trying to stay outside the circles. Got to get it inside the dots. Got to get some better chances at some shots and post somebody up where you get redirects or rebounds.
If you get pucks and people to the net, good things tend to happen.
That is.
The River Dragons down 5-2 right now, though. 5 unanswered goals for the Pee Dee IceCats after Columbus jumped out to a 2-0 advantage. We'll send it to a commercial timeout. Then when we come back, I've got your out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by our friends over at Zelmo Zippin. That out-of-town scoreboard look, by the way, includes another gander at Athens and Monroe.
The difference with Beam isn't just speed, it's service that you can count on. And when you call, you'll reach real people who live right here. And when you connect, you'll feel the reliability that makes Beam stand out. Now, whether it's working from home, streaming your favorites, or keeping up with everyday life, Beam keeps it all running smoothly. And right now, get our 1 gig plan for just $60 a month for your first 3 months. Fast, dependable, and local. Beam Broadband, connection you can count on.
An orthopedic injury doesn't mean you have to spend hours in the ER. Houston Urgent Ortho now offers orthopedic urgent care 6 days a week. At Houston Urgent Ortho, see an orthopedic specialist for your fracture, sprain, strain, or pain. Everything you need for your orthopedic injury is here, because orthopedics is all we do. Go straight to the specialist. Go to Houston Urgent Ortho.
You're not the only one.
Eight minutes, 45 seconds until the puck drops on the third. My name is Liam Gotimer. Alongside me is Mike V. Here is the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by our friends over at Zelmo Zippin. We will take a trek back to Port Huron. The Prowlers up on Watertown 5-2. The Binghamton Black Bears and the Danbury Hat-Tricks, it's 3-0. Binghamton in the middle frame. The Blue Ridge Bobcats and the Twin City Thunderbirds, that game being played over in Winston-Salem. 3s all around. 3-3, that game in the second period on the precipice of heading to period number 3. Indiana in Topeka, Kansas, taking on the Scarecrows. It's 2-1 Topeka. 2 final games to tell you all about the Biloxi Breakers and the Baton Rouge Zydeco. That game is scoreless in the second. And last but certainly not least, the Athens Rock Lobsters and the Monroe Moccasins. It's 2-1 Athens in the second period. Dustin Perilat and John Kaljan have scored for the Rock Lobsters. For Monroe, Casey Gerstein. Of note, if that score holds, the Athens Rock Lobsters win the Continental Division. That means your River Dragons have a date with the Monroe Moccasins for Game 1 of the Commissioner's Cup playoffs in the Continental Division a week from tonight right here at the Civic Center. If Monroe wins both games and they win the division, the schedule to be determined. Mike, as you mentioned, here in the FPHL, we don't have the luxury of forecasting the playoffs. It all comes down to the building and their availability. That's why we could see a different format in terms of who plays the first game at home and who does not.
Right. I mean, the way it normally works is if you get home ice advantage. You get it right from you get the first game at your building, but because of availability issues, then it ends up being kind of topsy-turvy in that sense. I think if they play Athens, though, it's going to go, 3-3?
It's not confirmed yet, but from my understanding, I believe that if the club does play Athens, Game 1 will be on Friday, April 17th in Athens, Georgia. Game 2 will be Saturday, April 18th right here in Columbus. And if necessary, Game 3 would be back in Athens on Sunday.
Okay. So that would be the way it would work out. And
to my knowledge.
I'll tell you what, I mean, for a playoff series to go 3-3, ouch. I mean, I would like to see them move a game. I know it's Sunday, but listen, Sunday hockey and Tuesday hockey, what's the difference? I mean, you're not going to really grab that many more fans on a Sunday night because of other issues, school and this, that, and everything else. But a Tuesday night, I mean, to give a Game 3, especially if it's tied up at 1-1, you want the guys dragging and skating in sand, because their legs are so tired. Give them a couple days, you know what I mean, and have that big game.
It would be nice, but it's all about what sells the tickets there, Mike.
I know.
Tough to sell tickets to a Tuesday playoff game.
Yep.
But I do hear you, and I do agree with you. But in this life, it's all about the money, isn't it?
Life ain't fair. That's what was told to me, and you know what? As I've been around for a while, I agree with that statement. Life is not fair.
Life is not fair. 5:10 to go here in the third. We do have a live update for you all. Topeka scored. It's 3-1 Scarecrows. But of note, Athens and Monroe still 2-1 Rock Lobsters before our broadcast comes to an end. I will keep you all posted. And now Athens with a penalty shot. Live update. And the goal not scored. So it stays at 2-1.
Athens missed that penalty
Who took
shot.
that penalty shot, Mr. Brandon? Joe Mack, number 74. Thank you, Brandon. He missed. The score is still 2-1. With that said, fans, this is it. Your last chance this season to snag a custom, authentic jersey. Any player, past or present, any number, any color. Don't just be a fan. Wear what the pros wear. Represent the Dragons the authentic way. Grab yours online before the deadline of April 19th. Adult jerseys to the left, youth jerseys to the right. Scan that QR code. Mike, I'm curious, if you had your choice of one of the 4 River Dragon authentic jersey styles, which one would you choose? The reds, the blacks, the whites, or the teals?
I like the whites.
Like the whites?
I do like the whites. I mean, I like the color scheme on the whites, the way they come off. But the blacks are also pretty damn snazzy too. So I'd have to flip a coin, but maybe the white over the black.
I'm going to go with the teal. Big teal guy. Blue eyes, Got to wear what compliments.
That San Jose kind of flavor, yeah.
Yeah. But I would go with the teals. And fans, if you missed out on any of our specialty jerseys this year, here's your second chance. We are raffling off a bundle of 5 custom specialty jerseys. Your size, your name, your number. You could win the whole collection for as low as $10. Don't wait. The raffle ends on 4/20. Head to Dash right now to grab your tickets and win the ultimate River Dragon jersey set. You believe that? 5 jerseys for as low as $10?
I know, huh?
Goodness gracious. Now that's a deal.
That's a deal and a half.
$2 a jersey. That's what that comes out to.
I don't think the name tags cost more than that.
Speaking of the nameplates, River Dragons fans, don't miss out. Now is your chance to own a piece of game day history with an authentic Hockeytown locker room nameplate. These are the actual nameplates from the players' lockers, and every single one will be autographed by the player. Scan that QR code to place your bids for your favorite player's nameplate today. And fans, do you want to meet the Dragons at center ice? Now's your chance. Our limited edition Hockeytown jersey auction is now live. Win your favorite player's jersey and join us on the ice tomorrow night for a private signing and photo opportunity. The auction ends after the first intermission on 4/11. That's less than 24 hours away. Don't miss out on the ultimate fan experience. Get your bids in now and own the ice with your Dragons. And fans, prior to tonight's game, the club eclipsed 100,000 fans for the 2025-26 season. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who have made their way out to the Lair for either all 27 games, including tonight, or just one.
That's a big attaboy to everybody in the office that works hard all year putting this thing together, trying to get all the pieces together, the promotions, the sponsorships, etc., which makes hockey work. And you've got a hard-working office in there, that's for sure.
I'll tell you what, I'm biased because I'm a part of it, but best front office staff in franchise history here with the River Dragons this season. We are all connected. We all work towards a common goal of providing the best experience possible. So shout out to all of you. Shelby, Milena, Jeff, Kirk, Jen, Taryn, Mac. You guys are all amazing. And if I forgot anybody, I'm sorry.
You know what's happened.
I don't think I do, though.
Yeah,
I don't think I did.
You're saying everybody else, and everybody else included.
And everybody else included. Kurtley as well. Shout out to Kurtley.
And you got some players that help out in that office, too.
Ryan Galvin as well. There you go. I did forget one. Ryan Galvin.
Yeah.
That's why I got a color commentary. That's why you're here. Just kidding. But a real credit indeed to Ryan Galvin and Kirk Underwood and Taryn and Mac, who have worked tirelessly to bring so many fans into this building all throughout the season. You guys are incredible. With that said, 20 minutes on the clock. Both teams on the sheet. The Columbus River Dragons and the Pee Dee IceCats for the third of 3 regulation periods of hockey tonight on the Chattahoochee River. Alexander Javayev and Nick Gomo at the center ice dot. The puck has been dropped. The River Dragons take possession. We are officially underway for the third. This is Liam Gotimer saying, it's go time! Let's do it. Gullo loses his twig. He picks it right up, and he will skate into the puck and pass it on along to the far wing. Drew Welsh, he wears number 23, a float feed to the mid-slot, and Frolov goes top shelf. It's now 6-2, 23 seconds into the third. Mike?
Yeah. Just got the puck on his stick and just rifled a wrister and a riser and beat Babin, and wow, 6-2.
That was a heavy shot.
Yes.
From Vadim Frolov for sure. Poor Frolov, that's his 15th goal of the season. The 22-year-old forward out of St. Petersburg, Russia. That's a Russian province I can actually name.
Yeah.
St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg. You speak a little Russian? Yeah, St. Petersburg.
You know, Yaroslav Yevdokimov not with the team right now, but he's from, I don't even want to try it. I'm going to butcher it. But there's a reason why I have not mentioned this hometown yet. Might need Gemini, some AI to help me out. So Frolov does indeed get the goal. Babin calls for an icing.
There was none. No call.
The officials do not give. Patrick Smarcinkevic shoved away by Nathan Balkwill. Stick lift by Storjahan. Storjahan will work out with Barrow. Barrow. Trailer. More! Blocked before getting to the net. He'll send the puck off of the outside of the helmet of Rutherford.
Yeah.
That took so much of a bounce that it ricocheted off of his lid, over the net, and back behind.
Well, one went off Babin. Would have been a little poetic justice to get it off the back of his helmet.
Halfway through the second period in Monroe, still 2-1 Rock Lobsters. Once again, if the Rock Lobsters win in regulation, they will win the Continental Division and will face the Pee Dee IceCats in the playoffs. That means the River Dragons will take on the Monroe Moccasins. One plays 4, 2 plays 3. It's a best-of-3 series to decide who will move on to the next round and play for the Continental Division crown. Here's Nathaniel Mott, the fire starter of the night, at the right point. Ryan Hunter will bank it off of the boards. The puck kept in for the moment, but Jake Cox comes over and makes the defensive play to outlet it into River Dragon territory. If you're just joining us, 6 unanswered goals for the IceCats after Columbus jumped out to a 2-0 lead tonight. Jemayev into the breadbasket of Rutherford. He squeezed it.
All right, get some shots in this guy. I know it's 6-2. One thing that, the game means nothing as far as points are concerned, et cetera. You know where you're at. But what you'd like to do is kind of get yourself righted, you know what I mean? Get yourself a little momentum. Get yourself, thinking making some positive plays.
Even if you don't win this hockey
Right,
game,
I mean,
if you score the last goal, you head into tomorrow and subsequently the postseason a little bit more of a confident group as Rutherford handles that bid from Doherty with a plum. Now Jake Jurgenite doesn't want to engage with his team up 4 goals. Funny how that...
I mean, that would do nothing. To engage in Doherty right there would do nothing for Pee Dee being up 4 goals. There's no reason to even think about it.
So Columbus, 2 minutes and 50 seconds into the third period. They have given up the first goal of this period. Jurgenite, left circle, Babin blockers it away and freezes.
One thing that you're seeing right there is the guys are so bunched up, close together. There's no way to work the puck out, and it ends up resulting in turnovers because Pee Dee is just putting the pressure on. Got to spread it out. Got to use the wall. Got to get the puck out of your zone. A lot of those goals have resulted from turnovers inside of the in the Columbus zone.
The 6th goal of the game for the Pee Dee IceCats was scored at 23 seconds of the third. It was Vadim Frolov, number 18, assisted by Drew Welsh and number 19, Nick Gullo. So the Pest of the game gets himself a point. Kyle Moore already with a goal tonight. He'll slip to the left wing corner. His pass goes out of play, and he throws a punch to the glass.
Yeah.
Perhaps out of some frustration. It's been a frustrating night.
It is a frustrating night.
Outshot 31-14 right now.
It's a ridiculous lopsided game with 31 shots to only 14, and yet there's 6-4 at 6-2, 4-goal lead. Shake your head.
Here's Alex Storjahan, number 4. No, River Dragon has more goals in a Columbus sweater than him all time. Moore got it across the ice, but Barrow couldn't knock it down. Those 3 players go in on the forecheck. Razulov will spin away from both Moore and Storjahan. Go up the near boards, and Marcinkiewicz got rocked by Patekin. Love that out of Lair Patekin. Kyle Moore near side boards. He'll slip from the boards. Barrow tickles the twine.
And he said, wait a minute. I got a goal lead that I want to get in this league, too. He puts a nice, great shot. Just a rising wrist shot, top shelf. And it's just a 3-goal lead now.
It all started with Kyle Moore, who dipped to the backhand. And how about the ability to thread the needle with precision from Kyle Moore, and Tyler Barrow went top shelf at the far dot.
Dominoes get knocked down one at a time, but that hit by Patekin was almost a starter. It turned the puck back over to Columbus, able to move it in, and Barrow we get the goal. A physical play results into a positive offensive chance and a goal.
5-hole save made by Babin. Something happened with Brody Thornton there and Elijah Wilson at the top. Good sportsmanship from Elijah Wilson to give him a tap to the back. Saying, I'm sorry for whatever transpired there.
I'm sorry I knocked you on the ice.
You know, sometimes we think that there's a lot of animosity between two teams who are out there on the ice, but a lot of times it's mutual respect and looking out for your fellow players.
Oh, yeah.
And it's good to see that in that moment.
You're all making a living doing the same thing.
100%. I got to tell that to myself sometimes. It's just not that serious, you know? Ref makes a bad call. It is what it is.
Oh, I'm done with that.
Calls, though, that's a different story. Throwback to the second. Backhander from Hunter, and Rutherford made the save with his face.
And it went off the glass and into the net, and so now a face-off.
That's why they wear helmets, you know?
Yeah.
Can you believe there was a time?
Listen, I mean, legitimately, I mean, when I grew up watching NHL hockey, there were several goaltenders that still didn't wear masks. Eddie Jockman, I can remember him in New York. Eddie Jockman, gray hair and still in there stopping pucks.
I don't know if I could call a game where the goaltender is not wearing a helmet. Yeah, that would be tough. Good thing I was born in this era.
Here's a little trivia question for the folks out there, and I'll give the answer. Who was the goaltender that really started the mask? It was the pioneer of the mask.
Ooh, okay. Let us know in the YouTube live chat. I bet my dad's on that like white on rice.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big trivia guy. Text me, Dad. Let me know. Mike Wynn, the sauce. Somebody call Little Uzi Vert. Too much sauce. Little Uzi in future, great song. Left point. Mike Wynn off the end boards. Josh Colton, right point. He'll wall Frolov right off. He'll lay it north for Galvin, who will spin and begin his approach up the ice. Drew Welsh, though, will whack it the other direction, going spinning like a ballerina right next to his bench is Patakin. And Stefanini will wheel into his own zone and settle things down. Mike, Columbus down 3, but a lot of time left to go in this game. 13:53. You get one before the 10-minute mark. You're feeling good. Here's Barrow. They score!
How about 2 in a row for Barrow real quick? All of a sudden, stop believing, 6-4.
Kyle Moore gets that one. Barrow fed him at the back door. And Kyle Moore, the man who's got that dog in him, has got to eat. All our dogs got to eat. And Kyle Moore is eating well tonight. 2 goals.
There you go. Got the unsportsmanlike conduct in the second period, and now come back, boy, to answer with 2 goals.
I love when the announcer's jinx works in my favor. You know, what a comeback this would be, huh?
Wow.
Oh, baby. The ice is tilted right now. Lair Patakin will streak down the wing. His pass one-handed by Balkwill into the catching glove of Rutherford. 6.5 minutes into the final frame.
Well, it's all resulting in getting some shots in on him, and they're giving it a good try at that. Hey, when we come back from this commercial, give the people one more minute here to who was the pioneer of the goaltending mask?
We will keep it here in Columbus.
Oh, we will. All right, you ready?
We'll tell you what my dad said.
Okay.
There's his answer. Gump Worsley, or is that your winner?
Second one.
Second one?
Yeah.
You tell the fans.
Gump was there.
Gump was
a guy that did too, but Jacques Plante.
Jacques
Plante used to, when he win a game, he'd come out and do the stick in the air and do this little spin move. If your dad remembers Jacques playing days like I do. When you're old enough to remember Jacques playing, you're old. I'm sorry, Dad. Didn't mean to say it like that, but those were the days.
Dad, you're not old. He said gold, not old.
Golden years.
Oh, man.
I mean, you know, when you talk about mask, and we were kids, you know, playing pond hockey or whatever, you know, somebody grabbed the catcher's mask out of the softball bag that their dad had. You can remember getting couch cushions with belts and putting them around your pad. All the things you used to do.
Dad, Mom, I love you so much. Thanks for watching, and thanks for providing our answer to the trivia question given by Mike V. And shout out to whoever got it right in the YouTube live chat.
There you go.
I am going to go back and watch the game afterward and make sure I know exactly who was the one. Balkwill loses his balance. Watch out, Elijah Wilson already with a goal this evening, and Babin makes a pad save. That happens from time to time.
Credit Barkwell for getting back in the play and getting his body on the man and make him miss that shot.
Most definitely. Fortin to the front. Rutherford gloves it.
I like it. Now, getting a little chippy for the River Dragons out there, but it's, you know, get a little bite in that bark.
Little bite in that bark. I like that. I know it's not the holiday season. Big peppermint bark guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Our producer just did a throw up.
I don't like.
You're not a peppermint bark person?
No,
my goodness.
No.
I'm outnumbered here.
I don't even like peppermint patties, you know.
Yeah.
I know.
That might be.
Yeah.
But peppermint bark, though? Pretty good. Do you like peppermint bark? Let me know in the YouTube live chat. It's not Christmas, but if the River Dragons tie this game 6-6, it might as well be. 12:50 left to play here in the third. 2 goals separate the River Dragons and the IceCats right now. Go far circle. He'll shoot. Out of play it goes. My dad has a follow-up. He says, I'm sure Mike knows which goalie had the mask that had the stitches on it every time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The cheese man himself, Jerry Cheevers.
The cheese man.
Well, his Cheesy was his nickname.
OM Cheesy? All right. We love you, Applebee's, and every single one of our partners.
Queso.
So Frolov for Welsh. How about that hit by Brody Thornton onto Welsh? He lost his stick in the process. He got shoved so hard into the flank.
Turnover.
Turnover by Nathaniel Mott. His feed went nowhere. Backhander from Zajic. Through Babin, but wide.
Paid for it with a hit, too.
Important to keep the opponent off of the board here on this shift. The momentum is on your side. A blocked shot and a clean zone exit would be fantastic for the River Dragons. They don't get that, as Patrick Marcinkiewicz will shoot to the upper body of Babin, who denies the league leader in goals. Barrow has 41. He scored his 41st here in the third. Marcinkiewicz has 42. Jemayev takes a hit to make a play. At center ice, Stefanini will dump it down with 11:18 left. Delasavita left wing side. He's got a man. It's Laikov. Laikov shoots, and Babin stopped it with his helmet and his glove. It may have been a combination of the two. Now Barrow up ahead. Moore draws a penalty and scores!
How about that? Moore with his second goal. He got hooked.
It's a hat trick for Kyle Moore.
That's a 2. He's 3. None bigger than that.
And none prettier than that. Oh my, Kyle Moore. You talk about taking a slash and then still finishing the play right off. Oh, baby. That was magnificent from Morsey.
Very similar to the first goal he scored. He got in tight, and he still was able to beat him.
Magical mitts from number 14. Number 15, I should say.
Well, all of a sudden, we got a hockey game.
Oh, my goodness. When this went to a 6-2 game, a lot of the air came out of the building a little bit. Not going to lie, out of the press box, too, you know.
I mean, there was a lot of air out of the bag, you know what I mean? Once, you know, the 6 going in, you're like, oh, my God, they scored 6 straight goals.
How about 3 straight from the Dragons after that?
That's how you answer.
That's how you answer. Resiliency has been what the River Dragons have displayed all season long, and this evening, no different. It's 6-5. 5 goals on 17 shots for the River Dragons.
Kyle Moore, congratulations, hat trick. Keep it going, boys.
We should continue talking about goaltenders' masks.
Yeah. That was the ticket.
Kyle Moore gets the hat trick.
I like that.
Here's Moore again. Why not? He's got a hot stick. Moore left side. Blocked by Pizzamenti, who will softly toss it for Frolov, and Frolov will skate out with Pizzamenti into the catching glove of Babin, who makes the save, taps the biscuit with his stick over to the far side corner for Moore. Moore to the red line. Tyler Barrow waits. Barrow swivels in, left side for a driving Moore. He's forced to pick it up off the near corner boards. Moore takes a cross check to the back from Jurgenite, but doesn't dive like Scantleberry did last weekend. Zajac inside of the blue line. Lightcup one hands the puck only as far as the Dragon blue line, but onside, watch out. Patrick Marcinkiewicz, despite 4 players in his way, including one of them the goaltender, nearly found the back of the net. We're past the midway mark here of the third. A pass from the wall. Jurgenite, a slapper, and Babin got in front of that. Here's Laikov in the slot. The tap to the back door. Cleaned up. Jurgenite boots it to a Dragon who kicks it back to Jurgenite. Jurgenite will roll it along. Balkwill activates, takes a hit to make a play. Now Hunter with Fortin and Underwood. Here is Hunter. Underwood, he's got Fortin. Save made by Rutherford. He closed a 5-hole. Underwood elected to shoot. Had Fortin at the back door there. 9:21 left in the third. We'll be right back. This commercial timeout, exactly what the IceCats need, because they...
Hey, it's Bill, your foodie guy, and you know I love food, right? So we've teamed up with Mike and Ed's Barbecue in Columbus on Schaumburg Road and our friends at Pepsi Buffalo Rock to create $1 Wing Wednesday. Look what I've got here. I've got a pile of wings, I've got my celery, and I've got my free Pepsi. I'll see you at Mike and Ed's on Schaumburg Road in Columbus. $1 Wing Wednesday. See you there.
Columbus, it's time to show your pride with official River Dragons merchandise. Every piece lets you take Columbus hockey with you wherever you go. Stand with your team, show your colors, and bring the energy of the ice to your everyday. Get your River Dragons gear today and wear your loyalty to your club loud and proud. Let's go Dragons! So the River Dragons now back into this hockey game at 6-5, 3 goals here in the third. First, Tyler Barrow at 4:06, assisted by Kyle Moore. Then Kyle Moore at 6:11 from Tyler Barrow and Lair Patakin. Then, 9 minutes into the frame, Kyle Moore, his third of the game, assisted by Alex Storjahan. So let's play some catch-up. Alex Storjahan, a 21-game point streak. Tyler Barrow, a 22-game point streak. He now has multi-point games in 17 out of his last 18 games played. Kyle Moore has scored goals number 18, 19, and 20 tonight. For Kyle Moore, make it 9 points in his last 5 games. Brad Fortin gets behind the net. He's roughed up, but still gets the job done. At the blue, Ryan Hunter has a play to make. He'll slip by Elijah Wilson. He's tripped down, no call. Add that one to the list. And there's a penalty called on the River Dragons.
A slash on that, and
I
mean, it's a slash. No doubt, but he did not call the trip on Hunter going down, taking an offensive chance right away. That's what gets you going. That's what makes it frustrating.
The officials took over the game in Monroe last Friday, and tonight, well, yep.
There's no doubt it was a slash.
It reminds me of what happened in Monroe when Stefanini took a high stick off of the faceoff, no call. Then Stefanini took a penalty himself. I said it in the moment. I'm not upset at the penalty on Stefanini. It's valid, but you missed one a few seconds before. And right here, even though it's a week later, nothing has changed.
No.
Sheesh. And unfortunately, a power play goal for the IceCats really strips the momentum away from the Dragons, and that's a damn shame, I'll tell you.
Well, I mean, it hasn't happened yet, so hopefully they can kill this off and then regather themselves to try to do what they've been doing, which is keeping the puck between the dots and getting some shots in on Rutherford and playing a little physical.
The Monroe Moccasins did not score in that second period, so 2-1 Athens after 40. Liam G and Mike V will be sure to keep you all posted on that game, but for right now, back to hockey on the Chattahoochee. 90 seconds left on the penalty to Ryan Hunter. Hunter drew a penalty that was not called and then took a penalty that was. That's why he is in the penalty box. Storjahan, good defensive work.
Waste no time, just get rid of it.
The penalty kill, as always, brought to you by our friends over at Floor & Decor. Babin gets a touch of the puck with his stick. Mike Wynn comes to support him, and Columbus will get it out. Barrows up the ice. Galvin's stretch feed, though, took a tough bounce off of the kick plate. Frolov dumps it down. Columbus needs one more clear here. Mike Wynn will utilize the high glass, but it's booted by Patrick Marcinkiewicz, who keeps it in. He's the most dangerous option for PD on this power play. Leitkov, arguably the second most dangerous option. Leitkov on the outer edge of the left circle, thinks about passing the puck. One-timer and Babin, oh my goodness!
You read that.
A desperation dive to deny Patrick Marcinkiewicz. Offside on the IceCats, brought to you by our friends over at Old School Barbershop. Mike, do you need a little bit off your sides? Because I don't.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're set in that department right now.
Appointments are required. Book online on Instagram, Facebook, or at www.oldschoolbarbershop.com. Shop spelled SHOPPE. My dad also wants me to ask you about Gilly Gratton's mask. Maybe he was using voice text. Maybe he got the name wrong. But you guys would get along quite well. I'll tell you that.
Old school barbershop for old school dads.
There's Gilly Gratton. There's his mask.
Okay. Wow.
An IceCat goes down. Here's a slapper from Wynn. Hit what was a pile of bodies, and we have a penalty. Can you believe it?
Interference.
Can you believe it?
No.
It's on PD. Oh my goodness.
I thought it was going to be the trip on Hamilton, but now Sargent's in there wondering what the hell's going on. Welcome to our world.
Join the party, pal.
Yeah. Well, this is big.
Yeah, this is a big one.
This is really big right here. You kill that penalty. You survive the one that, you know, we've been complaining about, and then you end up getting an interference call, which, to be honest with you, is more questionable than the trip they didn't call.
It's been an evening. Nolan Sargent takes the penalty. His blunder led to the first goal of this game. There have been 10 lamps lit since then.
So you can't blame it on him.
No, but you can if this game becomes tied in the next 95 seconds, because his infraction, the reason why, his team down a man. Kyle Moore with a hat trick tonight. Behind the net, the forward out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Barrow scores!
And a hat trick for Barrow. You get enough hats?
Second goal of the night for Tyler Barrow.
All right. Well, we'll just save the hats for the next one, huh?
And this crowd has come unglued here in Columbus. This is hockey on the Chattahoochee.
Oh, Barrow just finished it off. Great shot again, as he's been doing all year.
And by the way, might I add, that goal lead for Patrick Marcinkiewicz, gone. Those two now tied with 42 goals apiece atop the Federal Prospects Hockey League. Tyler Barrow, simply sensational, and that's another 5-hole goal given up by Parker Rutherford. 6 goals on 19 shots. That is most certainly a statistic.
40 shots up for Columbus now.
40 shots for Pee Dee,
That's for Pee Dee.
Here's Nathaniel Mott. He's the fire starter of the night. He'll look to get into the offense. Scott Doherty, far side corner to the blue. Shooting is Galvin, and it's blocked by Elijah Wilson, who didn't have his stick.
Yep.
That's beneficial for the Dragons. That would have been a break.
He was off to the races and realized he didn't have his stick.
He was. He was probably so excited. I have a breakaway, guys. Look, I'm about to go all alone on the goaltender. Oh, wait, I don't have a stick.
Can't score a goal like Pele did in this league.
There's a turnover. Ryan Hunter for the lead, and it goes off of the lower leg of an Ice Cat. Glove save made by Babin on a shot from the outside of the line. The most recent goal for the Dragons, Tyler Barrow, assisted by Kyle Moore and Alex Storjahan on the power play. Simply put, Tyler Barrow is the best player in the Federal Prospects Hockey League, and you all have the enjoyment of getting to watch him each and every night. We'll be right back.
Dad, are we there yet?
Not even close.
Sweet.
Have we gone too far? Maybe, but life's too short not to.
The Subaru Forester Hybrid, 581 miles per tank. Love goes the extra mile.
Work on the skating.
42 goals for Tyler Barrow this season. He's 3 away from tying the franchise record for most goals in a single season, set by Justin McDonald, who had 45. During the 2023-24 season. Also trailing McDonald for the assist lead and the point lead in a single season in franchise history. He may come up a bit short, but not to undermine the season for Tyler Barrow. I mean, first year in the FPHL, and he's established himself as the best.
Yeah.
Nobody better, really. Things get physical right outside of the IceCat blue line. Columbus will now want to play clean defensively inside of their own end. Here's Langkov, a backhander save made, rebound. It may have went off of the outside of the post. That was Patrick's Marcinkiewicz. That was a dangerous chance.
That was a extremely dangerous chance.
This one's been entertaining for sure. Patrick's Marcinkiewicz, the dangle. He's got the puck on the backhand, and Babin said no.
Oh, boy. You mock some great saves from a great goal scorer, and Babin come up huge on that stop. That's 2 big chances in a row for Pee Dee, and Babin has shut him down.
Allow me to dust my tie off and say to Trevor Babin, that was amazing.
It was. No doubt about it.
A reminder that we have 3-on-3 OT coming your way if this game is not decided in the next 3:05. Mike V just looked at me and said, "Are you serious? You did not just jinx it." Brad Fortin, the one-handed pass, and we have a delayed penalty.
A hold.
Oh, baby, here we go. Turn up your dial, yeah?
It looks like Sargent going in. Or no.
Jake Jurgenite, hey!
Yep.
He's going to the box.
Well, you got the hold.
Poetic justice right
You know,
there.
2:54. What happened in Monroe on Friday night, last Friday and a week ago? They call a penalty kind of like that. It works in your favor, and you're like, oh, okay, you know, that's the way it goes. Too bad. It's a tough call to get, but they made the call.
I will disagree with you a tad. One was a blatant dive by Tucker Scantlebury.
That's true.
Perhaps this one holds a little bit more legitimacy than that one did. But standing up here in the booth and being on the right side of the call, this definitely feels different, Mike,
It
for sure.
feels better.
Here's Tyler Barrow. He's on hat-trick watch. How about that? Get the goal-scoring lead in the league, secure the hat-trick, and win the game with a power play goal for Tyler Barrow. Let's see if he can do that. Underwood will dish it back to Storjahan. Barrow. He's tossed down to the sheet. Rutherford passes the puck, and oh my goodness, he nearly coughed it up. Now, Patrick's Marcinkiewicz will come to Babin, and Babin sweeps it away from him. The crowd wanted a call. I thought it was clean.
Yeah, no,
for me.
That wasn't. The crowd wants it, but I don't think it was a penalty.
That's good physical defending there by the IceCats.
That's how you play physical hockey.
If my defenseman did that, I would be given kudos. Turnover, Frolov, save made by Babin. Oh, he stretched all the way out. Frolov again, mid-slot, and Babin got to that one too.
Oh, he's on fire.
3-on-2 for Columbus. It's a 4-on-2. Barrow with Hunter, Storjahan, and Moore. Barrow, Moore shoots, and Rutherford makes the save. Hunter was in front, and Patrick's Marcinkiewicz and Timur Razulov come over to defend their goaltender.
Marcinkiewicz is the one who made the actual great defensive play. Got the stick down on Moore, couldn't even get any wood on it, and kind of just trickled over the Rutherford. And then an interesting exchange between him and Hunter. Kind of, I thought at first
Mutual
they were
respect.
upset. Yeah, then it was,
I love that so much.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's not all animosity. They don't all hate each other. Patrick's Marcinkiewicz saying, I know that you got a little bit too close. I got to do what I got to do, but respect to you. 97 seconds to go here in regulation time. Columbus on the power play for another 38 seconds. The rink-wide feed from Brody Thornton blocked. Thornton's got the puck back. Below the goal line, the pass in front for Doherty. He whiffed. Colton across. Thornton off of the dasher. He's got Zajac draped all over him. Thornton comes over in support, and Brad Thornton gets shoved off, falls down right next to the IceCat bench. Columbus will play it right back in, though, onside. It's Jemayev with Doherty, Thornton, Thornton and Colton. Shooting is Jemayev. Out of play it goes. He had Colton teed up at the left dot.
Well, you got 8 seconds left on the power play draw on the far side circle. 1 minute and 2 seconds left in a 6-6 game. What more can you ask for?
Grab your popcorn, am I right? Mike Wynn, Josh Colton, Alex Storjahan, Kyle Moore, Tyler Barrow on the ice for Columbus.
You got 5 goals with 2 players on that line right there.
Storjahan against Patrick Marcinkiewicz. False start on the face-off. Neither player kicked out. Now it's dropped the right way. And Marcinkiewicz will clear after his team wins the puck away. 55 seconds to go. The penalty is over. Jurgenite is in the box. Kyle Moore up ahead. Tyler Barrow with a hat trick on his stick. He'll pass it off for Storjahan instead. Storjahan lifts the stick of Elijah Wilson and will keep it into the offensive zone. Nicely done by Alex Storjahan. Elijah Wilson gets it back, though, and will toss it right into the grasp of Mike Wynn, who will funnel it deep. Half a minute to go here in the third. If you're just joining us, the River Dragons jumped out to a 2-0 lead. 6 unanswered goals for the IceCats followed. 4 unanswered for the Dragons has brought us to a 6-6 tie. Patrick Marcinkiewicz, his pass, and it was knocked out of midair by Storjahan. Now Moore with Storjahan and Barrow. Moore, right wing with 10 seconds. Moore behind the net. His centering feed goes awry. Moore's got it back. Rink wide for Storjahan. The referee may have gotten in the way. Storjahan will shoot anyway, and Rutherford makes a lower body save. We are going to bonus hockey here on the Chattahoochee River.
Well, you called it. You didn't jinx it. You called it. It went to overtime.
Not always a jinx, am I right?
Little trouble out there.
Kyle Moore and Nicholas McGill-Diaz.
Don't want no penalties going into overtime.
Don't want that.
Well, this is a game that you'll remember for a game that you go 2 up, you give up 6 straight goals, and then you come back and you get 4 straight. I mean, you don't see many hockey games like that.
The last time the Pee Dee IceCats were in this building, Mike, it was Military Appreciation Night, and they won in overtime.
Overtime, yeah. Well, they've got, I'll tell you, on the 3-on-3, not to take anything away from the River Dragons for what the River Dragons have, but certainly 3-on-3 hockey definitely benefits the Pee Dee forwards out there, especially the Russian connection.
Frolov and Leitkov,
yes.
Not to mention Patrick Marcinkiewicz, who is without his twin brother, Dominic Marcinkiewicz. So allow me to recap regulation time. The 6 goals for the River Dragons off of the sticks of Kyle Moore, Ryan Hunter, Tyler Barrow, Kyle Moore, Tyler Barrow.
Like I said, how often do you see 2 players lined up on the wings, and between them they have 5 goals?
The IceCats and the River Dragons scored 2 goals in the first period. The IceCats outscored Columbus 3-0 in the second. The River Dragons 4-1 in the third.
Let me tell you a big reason why this game's going to overtime, besides the 4 goals that have been scored, or 6 goals, 4 goals scored here in the third period. Babin's defensive play at the end, the last minute and a half, he is absolutely stood on his head and made some unbelievable stops.
5 minutes on the clock. Both teams on the sheet. The Columbus River Dragons and the Pee Dee IceCats. For overtime, brought to you by our friends over at Door Specialties. Alex Storjahan and Dennis Zychik at the center ice face-off logo. The puck has been not dropped. The puck has been dropped. The IceCats take possession. We are officially underway. This is Liam Gotimer saying, it's go time on the extra session of hockey tonight in the Fountain City. Jacob Hamilton, he has one of the 6 IceCat goals tonight. Left side, this is Vadim Frolov. Frolov, one of the 2 forwards out of Russia. Passes it off for Jacob Hamilton. He was nowhere to be found. The stretch up the ice from Storjahan. Here's Tyler Barrow with Josh Colton. Barrow will play keep away. His team now has possession.
Go for a line change.
Storjahan will cut back into his own zone, now lead Colton into the zone. Colton right side. Storjahan, skate to stick. He'll pull up against Lykov and funnel it back to Barrow. 60 seconds into OT. Alex Storjahan and Josh Colton head off, replaced by the captain Kirk Underwood and Ryan Hunter. The last time the River Dragons played in overtime, Captain Kirk called game with his 100th point in his FPHL career. As Barrow takes a tumble, he loses his lid, but Kirk Underwood came over and he just one-handed that puck into IceCat territory.
I'm not sure Barrow's all right.
Hope Barrow is okay.
Yeah,
he goes
really.
immediately to the bench. He gets his helmet back. Meanwhile, Lykov denied by Kirk Underwood.
It's the way to play him.
Now Brad Fortin looking for his first overtime game-winning goal in his professional career. He tried to bank it in off of the pad of Rutherford. Not a bad thing to try and do. Underwood falls down. Fortin tries to keep the offensive zone. He does. Fortin in front. Underwood! Game over!
He did it again. Underwood won it again. Unbelievable. What a hockey game. Liam.
Kirk Underwood, the overtime game-winning goal! River Dragons 7, Pee Dee 6 in overtime.
Boy, and Pee Dee can't get off the ice quick enough.
Brad Fortin with the primary assist on the overtime game winner for the captain.
This is going to go a big way with Columbus right now, winning this game, getting them tails wagging like that. It's been a while since they've had this kind of feeling that, you know, wow, you know, we just overcame a huge deficit. Look at them boys. That's some happy Dragons out there.
Thank you, as always, to our friends over at Door Specialties for providing overtime to you all on the River Dragons Broadcast Network. The final score tonight is 7-6. The River Dragons get outshot 45-20. But the column that matters most, goals scored.
Yeah, the shots on goals are weird. Again, a very low night for shots on net for Columbus, but hey, the way the results are at the end of the third period, that's probably one of the best third periods, or at least the second half of a third period I've seen this team play. They just put their nose to the grindstone and got it done.
Absolutely unbelievable. The River Dragons down 6-2 early in the third period, rally back to tie the game 6-6, win it 7-6 in overtime, taking down the Pee Dee IceCats on home ice.
How do you like them now?
Tonight's third star with 3 assists, number 4, Alex Storjahan.
Alex Storjahan, your third star, 3 helpers for Storge tonight.
Kind of the unsung hero in this game, in a way.
Big game player, Alex Storjahan.
Yes, sir.
That's my nickname for him. When the lights shine the brightest, Alex Storjahan plays his best. Those stats a little bit outdated. Tyler Barrow, 42 goals. Still the league leader in points. And he is your second star of the game. The game went to overtime because of Tyler Barrow, who scored on the power play, making it 6-6. The first star, this one's easy, is it not?
Well, he started it all. First goal in the game. And then them picking 2 up after that.
That's a solid day at the office.
Yeah.
Back here inside of the press box, Liam Gotimer here with you. Alongside me is Mike V. Mike, this game was 6-2 early in the third period. It ends 7-6 in favor of the good guys.
I feel bad for probably the few people that said, let's just beat traffic and get out of here. And then you get home and you find out what happened. They won 7-6. And then
how did that happen?
If you walked away, you missed probably the game of the year as far as the comeback's concerned. 4 goals down and come back and win this thing in overtime.
Largest comeback of the season for the River Dragons. They receive goals tonight from Kyle Moore, number 15, 3 of them, in fact. Ryan Hunter, Tyler Barrow, who lit the lamp twice. He is now tied with Patrick Marcinkiewicz for 42 goals. That's the most in the Federal Prospects Hockey League. The overtime game-winning goal went to your captain, number 11, Kirk Underwood, assisted by Brad Fortin. And Mike, I'd be remiss if I did not mention the work of Brad Fortin. Underwood scores the goal, but Fortin did the work to pass the puck to the low slot.
Yeah, Fortin, kind of not the big name we heard tonight a lot. I mean, Moore and, of course, Barrow with their goal scoring. But that kid just makes things happen because he's an exciting player. He's a kid that skates well. He works hard every shift. He goes in there. He works like, the shift before that, which is just amazing. So hats off to Fortin.
For sure. The Pee Dee IceCats receive goals tonight from Nolan Sargent, number 3, number 16, Elijah Wilson, at number 2, Jacob Hamilton on the blue line, Patrick Marcinkiewicz, Dominic Della Savita, and Vadim Frolov. The goaltenders, Trevor Babin earns the win for the River Dragons. He made 39 saves on 45 IceCat shots. He may have given up 6, but he could be argued as the star of the show.
Well, I mean, certainly in the start of the third period, especially with a couple of minutes left, he just made some unbelievable stops to keep the River Dragons from being able to get this thing in overtime. So hats off to Babin too. Not on the star of the game, but certainly a guy you want to remember on this one.
Parker Rutherford, conversely, takes the loss for the Pee Dee IceCats. A rough night for Parker. He made 15 saves on 22 shots. But this, again, really plays to the old adage that if you're a goaltender and you do not see a lot of rubber through the first 40 minutes of the game, when the rubber starts to pick up a little bit in the third, you may not be ready for what's coming your way. And, well, the River Dragons were able to beat them 5 times.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that
in the third and overtime.
Yeah, I mean, a goaltender has to get in some kind of a rhythm or whatever, and it's very difficult when you're not taking a lot of shots.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, here they come. And you better be ready because the River Dragons certainly were themselves.
The shots on goal in the first period, Pee Dee outshot Columbus 17-5. In the second, 12-6 IceCats. In the third, 16-10 Pee Dee. And there was only 1 shot taken in the extra session. That was the game-winning goal by Kirk Underwood. For the game, Pee Dee outshoots Columbus 45-22. For the final time, the final score is 7-6. With the overtime win, your River Dragons improve to 26, 18, 5, 5, and 1. They earn points number 94 and 95 in the Continental Division standings, cemented into that third spot. They await whoever is in second place come season's end, whether that's Athens or Monroe. While with the loss for Pee Dee, with the overtime defeat, they fall to a record of 24, 25, 5, 1, and 0. They earn 1 point as a result of the overtime decision that did not go their way. They have 79 points. Mike, one final update for you all on the Athens Rock Lobsters and the Monroe Moccasins. It's 2-2.
Oh, boy. Told you, they don't go away. They're like Jason from Friday the 13th. Monroe will not be denied.
It is number 18, Jamie Dorsey, at 13:38. Or, excuse me, not Jamie Dorsey. I read the wrong side of the scorecard. That happens to all of us, right? In the third, it was for Monroe, Carlos Forneris. So we've seen Forneris be a pest. And, well, in Monroe, Forneris, the reason why the game is tied over against the Rock Lobsters. So we'll have to wait to see who the River Dragons will face off against in the first round of the Commissioner's Cup playoffs. But for Mike V, my name is Liam Gotimer saying until next time, which is tomorrow, stay safe, stay well, and as always, let's go River Dragons.